Hey, good morning. The CR&E Morning Brew, June 30th. Trying to get a different camera angle here, guys. Everyone's doing okay. See what we got here. Wigwag, first one in. Good morning. Jazzco, good morning. John, Scullykill, good morning. How are you guys all doing? Good to see everybody in here. All right. You guys hear me okay? I think I'm off mute, I think. All right. Well, a beautiful day here today in Ohio. Nice out. Audio is good. All right. Cool. Cool. So I think most of you guys were in the Tuesday show, the On Track Tuesday last week, where I poured the river. I'm working on putting a video out, just a video to finish that, continue that series. I'll probably have a video of me doing the pour, and then one last video, depending on what I decide to do with like Mod Podge, the ripples. So I already decided to do the ripples. I don't know that I'll put that all in one. But let me move this closer. It looks like it's all drying up pretty well. Hardening up pretty well. Sorry for the shaky cam. But you know what? Look at me. Let's look at the river. So. I think it came out pretty good. Nice and hard. And then I told you guys the other night I had one little drip right there on the floor, like around a foot. What I ended up putting some painter's tape that was underneath here, painter's tape, and I did some duct tape over top of that. It was seriously just a teeny little drip, and that's it, and that's no more. It's good. My question is going to be now is, how do I remove this without messing up the resin? Let's see. What do you think of a cleanup after leaks? Yeah. No, that's the only cleanup there, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. I've done good as far as my sealant job was concerned. I don't know, I just can't get over the reflection. It'll be a little bit less maybe when that's all the backdrop you're seeing. At first I was like, what the heck is going on with that color, you know, but it's not when you look dead straight on it. Sorry about that. I unplugged my camera and accidentally. Well, you'd think I'd be better at this by now. Hey, Brimmy Rail, how are you? Number looks, where am I at? I lost the chat. I need to get back into the chat here. Right now, we'll look at the river. Let's see. That's where, what's that we're looking at? That is the river. We're at the river live the other night on Track Tuesday. And it's all nice and dry. It's hard. No bubbles that I could see. Yeah, I like it. Very happy with it. Hey, Jeff the River Enthusiast, how are you? So I'm kind of backing up in the chat. Hey, Chris, can see you in the railroad. Who else we got? John Benecki. Hello. Good to see you. Derail Darrell, there's my buddy. Derail Carroll. Darrell was a huge help. Thank you again for that. With the pour the other night, he was in the chat, monitoring the chat for me. Just gonna help out with questions and, with you guys. So, James Galton, good morning. Joshua Williams, how are you? Hey, good to see you. Yeah, thanks, man. I kept putting it off. I just kept booing and humbugging about it. And, procrastinating is a word I'm looking for. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? It is hard water. So I did the mix correctly. I did show a little bit of the disaster that it was at first. I did the paint, or I did the mix wrong. I added the paint after two things I got out of, two things. Everybody was pointing out, hey, Artie, thanks. Use a bigger cup. I used two, they're 18-ounce cups. I mixed them together. I did, first time around, I did 8 ounces and 8 ounces, which gave me 16 total ounces when you add the hardener and the resin together in the paint. It was a little tough to mix, I'm not going to lie. The next, because I had to do 3 cups of that 3 times. So the next 2 times I mixed up 12, basically I total 12 ounces each time. Give me a little bit more room in these cups. These are what I had. This is what I went with. Next time around, I will find something bigger, a little more room to mix, and I can do a bigger batch, so I didn't have to make 3 batches. So that's number 2. Number 1, use a bigger cup. I guess it'll be all number 1. Number 1, use a bigger cup so you don't have to make as many batches. You can get it all done in 1 batch. And then you have more room to pour. Darryl wants to know if you're swinging the bat yet, Artie. If there's anybody in here I didn't say hi to yet, hello, good morning. I was trying to make the river more of the background behind me, but I don't know. I gotta tell you, man, I'm very excited by it. David Mitchell, can you do a layout tour? I can walk around here. It is a mess. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how far I'll get with this webcam. Oh no! I knew I should have done this. I knew it was a mistake. What do you want?
I want my donuts. Where are they?
Nah, I ate them.
Man, that water has turned out fantastic.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's turned out like the water, the rivers and streams that I've seen over in the US.
Yeah, and I think it matched the backdrop pretty decently. Like I said, when I get a little bit of ripples and stuff in there, it'll look a little better. I'm happy with it. I didn't want it to be a big rushing river, though.
You only need a little bit there, but I mean, I don't know what I mean. The camera doesn't give you the true effect. G'day, Joe. How are you, buddy?
There you go.
The camera doesn't give you the true effect. The way I am seeing, you're getting a mirrored image of the ripple on the camera.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
I don't know what,
you kind of do.
I don't know what it looks like over to you, but I mean, in a camera perspective, it looks okay. I wouldn't do nothing to it. But that's my opinion.
Hi, Ronald. Nice to see you. Uh,
Thanks, Jeff.
well, I thought I would do some. See, that's the question. I guess it's a good question to ask. I was going to do Mod Podge over the whole thing. Stay with me here, just to give it that little bit of texture. But then I'm thinking I like the glassy look of it, and I'm thinking about just kind of doing just a little bit around the rocks and stuff to make it look like water's coming around it. Because it will be flowing. I don't necessarily need it to look rushing, though.
Yeah, you only need a little bit. You don't need that much. Because I
Yeah,
remember
like
streams and I remember streams and rivers and whatnot in some parts of the States and even in Europe. Like, depending on how fast the water's flowing, sometimes they hardly leave any ripples at all.
well, that's true. I mean, you may have a little bit going around the rocks, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
not much.
It's like I don't know if I want to mess with it. I might actually just kind of leave it be. The only thing is I got to put my little canoers and stuff in. I don't know what I want to put those guys. I'd probably have to use some little bit of ripples around those. I got some. I'm not sure exactly where I want to put them, so that's why I didn't do it the other night.
Yeah, so, well, who was it that was saying to you just leave it alone? You always end up finding a new spot for your canoes and your fishermen or whatnot. If you put them in place in a resin, that's it. They are there permanent. At the moment, you can stand at the bottom of them and just move them around.
I'd just do something like that. I could maybe just do a little bit of Mod Podge to kind of hold them in place. Maybe just a little bit of ripples around that,
Yeah.
I don't want to get carried away with it.
Hey, Kurt, you want to behave yourself, mate. You're a married man. I can stay up as long as I want. I'm single. I don't have to go to bed.
But anyways, how you feeling, Artie? You're looking good, man. Everybody's kind of commenting that you look good.
Still pretty sore, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah.
The last night's been the last couple of nights have been pretty bad, but it's going to be a slow.
You're about a week out now, right?
Yeah, it's only a week out since it's been done, so I'm just getting bloody bored. Just doing.
Well, I mean, you had your layout pretty much set, right? I mean, you got what you could get done, and you could run trains. I mean, you could play around at least. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of stuff where you need two hands to work, but I think you were trying to get things set where you can at least run them around, and you do have a long heel with this type of surgery, as you know.
Yeah, well, I have started doing. I'm working on the train automation program at the moment, which I can do.
But it's all on a computer.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out how to put some toggle switches on off switches for the schedules. You see, so I'm trying to work that out. Now, I checked everything to make sure everything was working right before my operation. G'day, Stan. How are you, bud?
Hey, Stan. That's a good idea, Stan. I might just leave them be for now.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the tracks has got no power to it, so it's all right. I'm having problems with the turnout, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. We all have dead spots on the track. Or should I say, I'll just use it as a closed line at the moment. It's been repaired.
James, if you're still here, we'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, James. Take care. Have a good day, bud.
Somebody was asking me to do a layout. There's a walk around. I'll try. This is going to be with this webcam, and I don't know how far I'll get with it, but who was it? I just saw it. It wasn't Ronald. It was David Mitchell. David, if you're still out there, I guess I can attempt this. Hopefully I don't make you guys seasick. So let me take this off the tripod. So now there's the thing I'm not going to be able to really see because I don't have a computer. I won't have the computer with me. Got the shaky cam.
Are you talking to me, Jeff, before I clean the track up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kurt, it is. We're going to get flooded again by the sounds of it. I've got to find an umbrella. I don't have a car now, so yeah, it's going to be interesting in the next few days. It's not the track. It's not a dirty track. I'll clean all the tracks up. I did a bit of geez, there's a big earthquake there in Ohio.
Yeah, I know, right?
I did a bit of wiring modification underneath the layout, and I think I might have just accidentally tugged the wire out of the connection. So I'm not allowed to lift my arm at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. It's only one track. The main tracks are working, so I just got to work my way around it. That's coming up pretty good.
All right, David. I'm going to give this a shot. Now, keep in mind, this is a messy layout right now. When you come in the room here, you see my swing gate. You see that?
So that looks good too. Even just looking at that, the way it is, that looks good. You done a good job there. The bridge.
I still got some work to do on that too, but it's good enough for now. So you come through, you swing that open. I can't see the computer, so I don't know. So to the left of the gate, with all this mess, you have the main line runs back and around.
Yeah.
And then you eventually get over here to. Artie, let me know if you can see if it's like even in focus or in picture. So you'll come around these tracks. I got a passing siding and a regular and a main line. Then you get over here to the river that we just poured. Bridges are out, but they'll go in, obviously, at some point. Come across that. And down through. And around. Am I going too fast? Give you guys a sec. So this passing siding where you see the auto racks of the main line, the passing siding has stacks on it right now.
Yeah.
But off of that, you'll go into the, what do you call it? Co-op here, Crooked River Co-op. Some more line on my thing here. There we go. And there's a co-op there with the passing siding and the main line in the back. This is for David. I don't know if you're new here, but welcome if you are. So you come back down to a single main over there. Up top is the climb to the second level. Come back around this way. This is going to be my Crooked River and Eastern Yard. And then it'll come down around the peninsula here. And then back there is going to be a cement plant. Cement, sand, concrete, whatever.
So are you reusing any of your old kits?
Yeah, like these are old kits right here.
Are they the old ones that you had? Or
Right
new
here,
ones?
yeah. No, those are all old ones from the old layout.
Yeah.
That's from the old layout, the Crooked River co-op. Yeah, I'm going to use probably everything. You know, again, this is
That's
a
good.
mess, so I got shit everywhere.
You still got a
Yeah,
lot more room than me to make more mess.
yeah. You know, I'm very fortunate that I have the space that I have.
Yeah.
You know, and I realize that. So sorry, I don't know how well this is going, guys, but I'm trying. But anyways, you're going to come around the peninsula. There's a double. Well, it's not really a double main on the peninsula. You have here decals. So the inside track here is going into the yard. It's a yard lead, I guess. I don't know what else you would call it. There's one of the bridges. I was working on weathering not too long ago. Still got to finish that up. And you're going to come down. You got a long cable on this side.
Kurt, you can drive. You can make me a cup of coffee. You can go and get me a cup of coffee from the amp. I'll bring it over here. You can drive. I can't. Geez, it's good having neighbours like that, isn't it?
What's that?
And it's good having neighbours like that. They know you can't get anywhere. They still want you to go out and do errands for them.
You know what the heck?
I'm not walking over that hill this time of the night.
And you come down around here. Main line comes around, back around. And you can see the climb kind of following that main line.
Yeah.
So we'll come back down. Guys, this is just a mess with everything I was trying to get ready for this pour. I've just been lazy down here lately, cleaning. So now we're back to the swing gate here. So, and you'll see that turnout there, which I think I'm going to move that turnout a little further down the track. You see the climb starts there on the right, and then the main line is on the left.
You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do there, just to play it safe for yourself.
What's that?
Have a dead section of track there, just before that swing gate there.
I do.
So you have got one?
I do. Yeah, it stops up in this area here.
Yeah,
I gave myself about 2 to 3 feet.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it some more because when you shut the gate, I have these little button on there. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is. Don't mind all the holes. I was doing a lot of experimenting where I wanted to place that button and stuff. But yeah, that you push it in, you have power. When you open the gate, it cuts the power. And there's one on each side of the gate.
Yeah, like the door switch in the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep it as simple as I could. And sorry if I'm making you guys all sick to your stomachs. Not my intent, but that's probably what's happening. But yeah, that was my biggest fear was to dump a locomotive off of that thing. Or anything really, but especially $200-$300 locomotive, you know how that goes.
Especially if you got keeper lives in them. If you put keeper lives in them, they would just keep on going and going and going until the capacitor's empty.
I was really, really surprised with that keeper live, the current keeper I put in. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too terrible for you. Of a trip. I'm trying to. With this locomotive here that I'm working on, I don't know, maybe I'll mess with it later today. I got to put the lights in it still. For you, David, this is my. I feel like I've seen you in here, but I haven't seen you often. That's my logo. That's my short line. I got that all decaled up, and I did put. I already know how that's going to work. Maybe you guys know. So I have clear decals, and I put numbers in the number boards. You can't really see them. I don't know how they're going to look once you light them up. I don't know if I'm supposed to paint something or, you know what I mean? If I should have used clear decals. I think I just have to see
You're
how
just
it's
gonna
going to
have to
look when
wait.
it's lit.
Yeah, you just that's what you're gonna do. You could use a white decal paper
Yeah.
over the top and then put your numbers on it. That's one way of doing
White,
it.
so I used.
It'll still brighten up.
Yeah, I didn't have any white, so I had to use what I had. But I could get some, or I could. Damn it, stop it there. I got a mess of wire over here, guys. I have a long cable that I use for my camera when I want to put it somewhere else. You know, like because I was trying to go with the other cams around the
Yeah.
layout. Because eventually I do want to be able to pop back and forth to different cameras, and I'm sort of able to do that. I haven't figured out how to do it as well as like Jack, but I'd love to have the motion cameras, but that's not going to happen. They're way too expensive.
Yeah, have fun mowing the lawn, Joe.
Let's look at me now. I'm more excited than that. Not really, but.
Excuse me.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Sorry for the camera movement. I'm trying to make it where it's not just always me and the camera, and especially since we just did that pour, wanted to show that off a little bit, not my messy layout behind me. So for Father's Day, my wife actually, I was on with Rick and Nisi, just in a private StreamYard thing, because they were going over. I'm going to eventually give that OBS a try. I just haven't done it, but
Yeah.
they gave me a bunch of suggestions for mics and lighting and boom arms and all that kind of stuff that they use, and so I had it all like my Amazon wish list or whatever. And my wife, God bless her, God only knows how much it cost. None of it was super expensive, but she bought me a bunch of it. So now I have to go and figure out what I'm going to use and all that fun stuff. One of the other things that was in there was a mini camera, like Jim Tedesco been showing all the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was one that he had suggested originally way back. It was just a View Vision Chinese thingy, mini camera. So it says it's 1080p, full HD, motion activated, micro SD, USB, time date stamp, video compression. I don't know. Is that MJPEG? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but that is something I do want to do at some point. Is like a ride along. I love when guys do that. I enjoy that so much.
Still Childers had one the last week, I think, or earlier this week. He was demonstrating one.
Who did?
I think it was last weekend.
Steve?
I actually wouldn't mind doing that one. Yeah, Steve Childers. He had one up, and I'd actually like to give that a go because I have tried these. I have got these little cube ones. These little cube ones here. I need to get the cable and charge up and see how that turns.
It's a little bigger than a cube, but it's still pretty small. So
Yeah.
I mean, like it won't fit inside a locomotive or anything like that. But I mean, it's short enough that you could put it on a flat car or something. I'm thinking, and still fit under most things. It's narrow enough, that kind of thing. Just trying to give a visual there. That it should work.
Now I did,
in theory, anyways.
Yeah, I did get it. I do have a bigger one a little bit bigger than this.
Yeah.
But it goes off the phone. I don't want it working off the phone. I want it to work off my laptop, the Wi-Fi on my laptop. So I've got to go out and try to find another one. Because it'll be awesome. I'll go and get it. I'll show it. It's actually a good size, that one.
Jesco, she's doing good. She and I are both on vacation this week. I was actually going to do this outside again like I did last week. We have purchased and assembled one of those metal top gazebos, MHB Podunk. 32 more days till you retire. Oh, God bless you. That's awesome. Kurt says Daryl's up long before the Roosters. Daryl said he starts a lot of accounts even before they're open. But yeah, she's doing good. We're both a little sore. We spent probably like the last 5 days really because we went down to Columbus and did some walking around. We went to that IKEA store. Never been to one. And we did a lot of walking around and kind of been on our feet pretty much all weekend and the last couple of days as well. So, a little tired, but we're having fun. Just fun. She's doing good.
This is the other camera that I've got.
Oh yeah, this is a bigger cube.
Yeah, it's a bigger cube, and it's a good size. That's why I got the flat car. It'll be a good one for one of these cars.
Mm-hmm.
But it only works off the phone. Now, I believe they actually got another one of these now that actually be working straight off the Wi-Fi on the computer. So I'm going to chase that up.
Oh, okay.
And try to have that in front of one of these little four-wheelers, and that'll come up pretty good. And it's a good weight too. It cost me $45, I think.
That's not bad.
Strange.
I don't know how much this one was. Like I said, she picked it up for me. I don't remember what it was. The weather's good here, Kurt. It cooled down a little bit the last couple of days. I mean, into like the 70s. But today's supposed to be like 88, 89. But,
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice, comfortable temperature.
Hey, the plumber, 33.
But we're supposed to be getting. Yeah. Well, we're supposed to be getting about 3 days of torrential rain again. Flooding rain again. We're supposed to be getting so.
So you guys are in winter now, right? Do you? Maybe it might be a silly question, so don't laugh. Do you guys get snow or anything there, or you just get a lot of rain in that winter time?
Yeah, we do. We do get snow. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
About commonly down the Alpine region, which is roughly about 4 or 5 hours south from us here. A place called just south of Canberra, it's south of our capital. And we've got our ski slopes and that. Now, out towards where Creepy lives, probably about 45 minutes to an hour just out from here, we also get a little bit of snow. But if it snows there, that's very, very cold. It was like minus... Creepy is in Goulburn. He's halfway down the snowfield. It was -7 there the other morning, and that -7, that's roughly about 14 degrees.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Celsius, yeah.
Yeah. About 14 to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. But we're getting those wind blasts coming up from the south, so it did get a little bit. But now is when we're supposed to get the rain down here. But they reckon we're going to get about months worth in about 3 days. Oh, we guys going on vacation.
And, who's going on vacation?
Oh, how dare you, plumber? How Dare you? I'm not. No, I'm not a Kiwi. I'm in Australia. I'm just south of. I'm just south of Sydney. About an hour and a half south of Sydney by car or by train. Yeah, no, don't want to
So
be
far
an
humidity.
islander. Oh, they're strange.
So far the
Folks over
humidity is
there.
not too bad today. So the plumber 33. Let's see. Yeah, Australia. Dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. So, all right, again, another silly question because I'm not sure and I don't feel like putting up a map.
Nothing
Is
silly.
is New Zealand down that way near Australia, or is that more up north?
Yeah, it is actually like New Zealand is just off the coast of us by plane. It's about 2.5 hours.
Okay, so it's an
Now the
island down
water
that
that
way.
you see, yeah. Now the water that you see when I take photos from Wollongong, that pocket of water is actually known as the Tasman Sea. Directly on the
Okay,
other side of it is New Zealand, like with the
okay,
meridians and whatnot. It's directly on the other side of us. By
cool.
by plane, it's about an airline. It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. By plane, it's not far.
Oh,
By
good.
ship, it will take you about 3 days, 4 days to
Wigwag
get
is
there.
taking 2 weeks vacation. Wow, good for you, man. Somebody was asking, you going anywhere fun? Going anywhere or going anywhere fun?
Want to come over here, Wigwag? We got all the steam trains out and about at the moment. Yeah, the fox and chops. They talk funny in New Zealand. You think we talk funny?
I was say if Artie's saying they talk funny, we all know how Artie talks. That's got to be they got to talk funny, I guess.
They are worse than us.
Fish and chips. I like
Yeah,
fish and chips, as we call them. Fish and
yeah,
fries, damn it.
yeah, but you see, in New Zealand they go fosh and chops. They don't know how to get the I into it. You see,
Nah.
yeah.
Hey, wait, that's all right, man. Hanging out at home. That's what I'm doing. My wife and I are off this week. Just doing some projects around here. Like I said, we were putting up that gazebo. What else did we do? We went on a little trip Friday. Monday we went up to the islands here, Put-in Bay, or we went to Kelly's Island. There's 5, 6 islands in Lake Erie up on the western end of Ohio, above like Sandusky
Yeah.
area, not too far from Anthony, between like Toledo and Sandusky. And you take the ferry over. It's about a 20-minute ride from mainland over on the ferry. We went up a town called Marblehead is where we picked up the ferry. So I did some footage. I might try to post something if I ever get around to editing. But it's pretty cool because on that island they do a lot of quarrying. So they did it at one time. I don't know that they do anymore. I'm not 100%. There's a dock where you can see where the ferry, the boat, whatever, would take that crushed rock or mined rock. Then you see on the mainland where there's another whole setup. It's owned by Lafarge now. It's a French company or something. But you'll see, if I do the video, you'll see it. It'd be such a cool modeling opportunity, man. Big, long conveyor from the lake all the way across the main road, over like the parking lot, over the main road and everything, to the quarry. Or you see a big piles of crushed stone over there. So I'm thinking they still must mine it over there. But it's really, really cool for us guys. It's really cool.
What kind of rock is it? What's it used for? For the roads?
It's limestone mostly.
What they use?
It's well, yeah. I mean, you could use it in roads, but it's also
Oh yeah, you do use a certain amount in in the rates, but you also be using it in the steelworks as well as a
That's what I was
flux.
gonna say. There's the smelters or whatever they use it to. I guess
Yeah,
it brings out the impurities in the metal or something.
yeah,
Took a picture of
that's
the
right.
sign
Yeah,
that talked about it, but it was
hey,
pretty cool.
Martin. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, you reckon
Something
I
to
was
do.
bad? Look,
In a
the
lime
show's
kiln.
over now. Look, it's come on. This has just come up here. That's the end of the show now.
Hey, Nixie.
How you
Yeah,
doing,
we're
Nissy?
done now.
Yeah, no, I've got to ring up to your stream. I've got to ring up Delta Airlines and chase up this refund of mine for the airline ticket because I haven't received the money back for that yet. Now, when is your Independence Day long weekend? Is it this coming weekend or the following weekend? How you guys
This is
celebrating that?
this weekend. Yeah, tomorrow's the
This coming
first,
weekend?
so Monday's actually the fourth.
Yeah.
So I'll have Monday off too. So my vacation gets extended by a day. I'm always off on Tuesday, so I actually ended
Okay.
up with almost 2 weeks off for this 1 week vacation. The way things played out, because I ended up having to work Father's Day, so I worked Sunday, Monday, Wednesday that week instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I had Friday off. So after I worked Wednesday last week, I've been off since. So this has been a week. So I won't go back to work until this coming Wednesday. So it's been 2 weeks basically, pretty close to it, give or take a day.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, Put in Bay's kind of crowded. I haven't been up there in years. We may go back up again eventually. Wigwag. Put in Bay is probably the largest of or a larger island, anyways. I think, and it's more crowded. It's more of a pubs, more places to drink. People go up there to party more, that kind of thing, if you will. But
Yeah.
probably during the weekdays, it wouldn't be quite as bad as it would be on a weekend. I don't know. Kelly's Island is a little more laid back, a little more family oriented, I think. Smaller, but it's a nice island. There's a state park there for camping. All kinds of people with RVs and that coming on off the ferry. Um, it's neat. There's glacial grooves there. That'll be in the video too if I ever do get around to making it. You can see where the ice when it receded after the ice age and how it just grooved out the rock and everything. Unfortunately, it says in one of the pictures I took, it says that due to them mining and quarrying and everything up there, they a lot of that stuff was lost. They didn't pay a whole lot of attention. Oh, that would be sweet. Where did you catch that at? Where are you from, Plumber? Where are you at? You state? I'm assuming you're stateside. Um, Speaking of stateside, I got my son left Monday night, so I would say early Tuesday. It was like midnight for Europe.
That's it, Kurt. Go and serve your wife. That's a good boy.
Yeah. Is he around you, Artie? Does he live around you?
Yeah, he's just on the other side of the hill. He's about
Artie wants a cup of coffee now, Kurt. When you're done
yeah.
with that tea, swing down around the hill.
It's only a 5-minute drive by car and about half an hour's walk.
Virginia. Okay.
45 minutes walk. That's a brisk walk too.
Well, your legs ain't in a cast or in a sling. Walk over to the damn hill and get some coffee from Kurt.
Oh no, you can bring it over here.
Well, you need to get out.
Well, I've been out today.
Oh.
I've been out today. I went into the post office to try to get to see about that broken mug. They had a look at the package and the Sparky's mug that I got from Teesprings.
It's just Sparky's mug, no loss. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah. Teesprings owes me a mug. It's the way they packed it. They didn't have
All
enough
right.
packaging in there, so Teesprings owes me a mug, so I've got to get in contact with them.
Yeah.
The handle broke off it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny. They
plus, I had
really
to go.
packed this stuff pretty well.
Oh, the way it was packed, it was actually there was hardly any bubble wrap around it. There was no cushioning whatsoever inside the package. So I'll have to got to agree. Yeah, and this the surgery's gone good so far. I'm not getting that sharp pain in here. I'm still getting a little bit of pain, but it's getting better now. But see, Kurt,
You still taking the pain medicine and stuff, or are you kind of
yeah,
weaning down on
yeah, I'm
that?
still slowly starting to wean off it now. Still
Yeah.
using two. I'm using only about what 2 tablets in a 24-hour period, so I'm weaning off it now.
Yeah, that's good. Not
Um,
bad. Just enough to get you to take something to help you sleep, that kind of thing, you know.
yeah, last night was bad. I just couldn't. I could hardly sleep last night, and
Yeah. Well, you knew the
of
show was
course,
on today, so you're excited. That's why you couldn't sleep.
what's that?
You knew my show was on this morning, so you couldn't sleep.
Good try. Good try, though.
It's like Christmas for
Good
you.
try.
I
Good
know.
try.
I know.
Well, I was trying to have an afternoon sleep, but I got disturbed. It was like, oh, how dare you? I was having an afternoon kip because I want to stay up tonight. One, your show's on, plus I need to ring up Delta in Atlanta tonight
Ah,
in their office hours because I've got to chase up to see about the money that they sent over to the agent that the agent said they haven't got yet.
huh.
So I want to find out who's giving me the lies, but I don't think it's Delta that's giving me the lies. I think it's the agent. Delta usually refunds the money within a week.
Thanks, Daryl. Again, thank you so much for your help. Daryl's a great guy, man. I'm sure you
Yeah,
guys are all subscribed to him, and if you're not, at least go give his channel a look, see what you think. Um, does great work. Just a good guy, all in all. Hell, I think after the show the other night,
and it's good with
Thursday
him
night.
giving you a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
we
Bernard.
talked for probably a good 2 hours. Afterwards, just chit chatting about just everything, you know, life, the hobby, just what he does, what I do for a living, things like that.
Yeah,
Great, just a great guy, man. So definitely an asset to the hobby. He's kind of a little bit newer to our group here, if you will. Not that
circle.
there's plenty of others,
Yeah,
our little circle, but he's not new to the hobby by any means. He's a very talented
no.
modeler. Uh, so yeah, and then
But good thing about him was what he didn't giving you
plumber
that
was
coaching the other day. Since he's had experience.
yeah, I know, and I'll tell you what, I would have been panicking probably because I ran so short. Because I don't know, somebody named Artie kept saying I needed a bigger cup instead of the cups I was using. Artie plus many other people were saying the same thing. It worked out, thankfully. It would have been easier to use a bigger cup and did not have to make 3 different mixes. I think it actually turned out for the better, really, because I did get a little bit of variation in the color.
Yeah,
Um,
well, you get that in the stream anyway. But I mean, um, like from the camera point of view, for what we see, it looks all right. But you have a look at the
mhm.
riverbed, you generally have a different color. It all blended in pretty well, and you're lucky that it didn't. With the resin, it doesn't go off very fast. Not like when you put a hardener, it doesn't go off as quick as erudite or car putty. It stays in
Oh
liquid
yeah,
form for a little while.
yeah. You do have a little bit of working time with it. I mean, you can't screw around, but you do have working time.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, the first time I tried it, my mistake was I put the hardener and the resin together and then tried to add the paint color. So as I'm trying to mix paint and all that stuff, so I'm stirring and stirring and stirring. So that's helping to thicken it up as I'm mixing it. But then it was also hardening. because I mixed it all together.
Yeah.
My mistake. It came out terrible. Like I said, I had to tear it out. Thankfully, it came out pretty easy, although I had to replaster and repaint, re-sculpt them. Sculpt them comes up a little bit easier than plaster, at least the stuff I make. It wasn't, I had to work, but it wasn't, I didn't ruin anything really. So I had to fix that and live and learn. And that's why,
you're lucky you sealed everything up. You didn't have any leaks either.
No, I had one little tiny leak, and it was over on the far right, and it was past the where the hillside starts to come up. And I didn't put enough of a dam there with the caulking, so it kind of snuck in there a little bit. And it was just a tiny drip. Once the stream was over, I went under there and I did some painter's tape and some duct tape, and it stopped it.
That's good.
So, like I said, it was just a really slow leak there, but I was worried that it was going to eventually, like, I would lose too much resin, and end up with a weird shape. Kurt, I'm in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm up on the North Coast, up on Lake Erie. I don't live right on the lake, but I'm about maybe 5 miles, 10 miles off the lake. My sister lives in a community up on the lake, and she's about 10 minutes from me, driving the freeway. So that's more on the northeast side of Ohio, where these islands I'm talking about are more on the northwest corner of the state.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty state. We get a lot of cloud cover in the wintertime. That's the only thing. Winters can be a little rough. Yeah, Daryl's a great guy. Glad to know him. Glad to be friends with him. Can understand him when he talks. Not like my buddy Artie.
I love you too, Dave. So go get stuff.
Yeah. Buddy old pal. Yeah. I gotta like you enough to say you can stay at my house at least. If I didn't like you,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting for another package to arrive so I can send you a box off. I was up at the store the other weekend, and it's like, damn it, I forgot to get this other stuff for you. And it's like, now I've got to do a mail order, and I'm just waiting for it to arrive so I can send it off to you. It's sitting on the lounge room, in the dining room table at the moment.
Well, if it means that you, if that forces you to come over here, then you can just hang on to it till you come. There's some people who just kind of.
The way things are going, I'll send it over to you first because I know you want to get you. There's a few components in there that you need for your next level that you have been talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's up to you.
So that looks good. Honestly, from where I look at it now, and I think a lot of people will be saying exactly the same thing. Leave it alone. That looks great. That looks good. I wouldn't touch it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it alone. The more I'm looking at it, I think I'll leave it for now. I could always, do stuff with it more later. But if he would have made it over her niece, it would have been like we would have been wearing our train pajama bottoms. It would have been like a train sleepover. It would have been like two little kids. He was going to be out doing some wiring for me.
I would have helped him out with his wiring. That was the plan of spending what we were talking about 3 days, weren't we? At least 2 of that. They would have helped him sort out the wiring.
Daryl agrees with you.
Yeah, I'd leave it alone. I wouldn't be playing around with that. Looks fine. If you start messing around with it, you might destroy it. Because you see, like as we're looking at it now, you're getting that mirrored image of the rapids.
Yeah, right? Now that you mention it, I can see it now. Before I wasn't really seeing it, but now I do.
Yeah,
on that
you're
camera.
seeing it. You're getting that mirrored image, so you don't need to do nothing.
Yeah, that's true, because I'm looking at it through the camera lens now. Hang on, let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because it does kind of come out. The mirror comes out, about like here, almost to the
Exactly.
highland there.
Exactly.
So it does look like it came out and then it kind of smoothed it, smoothed out, whatever you want to call it. So
And that's a good pull. When you get it like that, it's a good pull. Okay, Wigwag, you have a great day, champ. You have a
yeah.
great day. Yeah, no, I'd leave it alone.
Thanks for stepping in there, Wig. Have a good
And
day,
maybe somewhere down the
Steven.
track, you do a bit of
I know your name's
experimenting.
Steven. I just like calling you Wig. It's a good name.
Yeah, Wigwag's good.
Plumber, good to see you. Thanks for stepping in too. Check him out too, guys. The plumber, if you guys haven't, Plumber 33. I feel like he's another one that's just kind of, as of lately, the last maybe several months, I don't know. I've noticed him in the chats and stuff, and he's got some good stuff too.
I did on my big layout, the show layout of this side, I was going to use real water in it, and I had a little waterfall with a water pump and everything else. The water pump failed, but I did everything I possibly could do to seal it and make sure there will be no water leaking out.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I put the water in, and guess what? The water found its way out.
Yeah.
You know, I used some
There's
elastic.
another guy I watch on. I can't think of the name of his channel right now because it's just the way it goes. Anytime I want to think of something, I can never think of it. But he actually is using real water. Like he did a clear basin and that choo-choo barn. I did a video on that. There's real water and like goldfish in that water too. On that choo-choo
Yeah,
barn layout up in
yeah.
Strasbourg. That blew me away. Because you would probably have to treat the water somewhat to keep it from going green on you when you think. Put some kind of chemicals in it, or maybe you would just keep replacing it. If you're running a
Yeah,
pump, I guess it would.
you do the same way as what you do in fish tanks.
Yeah. Off
You
the
know,
rails. Thank you, man. How you doing today? And Nisi, that's sweet, man. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if you guys realize how nervous I was. I mean, thank God for Daryl up, not just being there to moderate, but he really kind of kept me level. Like I said, especially when I had to mix up the second and then the third batch of it.
yeah,
And
he kept you calm.
I got to talking with my hands and not stirring, and he kind of gave me a nudge and remind me to keep stirring, mixing and stuff, and just little things like that. It's just somebody who is kind enough to be willing to help you out, which most of you guys are. I mean, any of you guys would have probably come on and helped me out with it. But Daryl, I know, well, I just know he's done it several times, and I know that he would be able to not just encourage, but give me pointers if I was goofing up something, because I goofed it up the first time. And I didn't want to do it again. And so I'm like, listen,
Well,
I was procrastinating is a good word. I was procrastinating. So this, by doing it live, which wasn't my first choice, but it kind of forced me to do it finally. Daryl wants me to try to put the bridge back in. Let's see if I can make that happen. Stand by, man. I'm listening. Let's stand by.
yeah, but yeah, he was a good coach, and he had the experience.
Yeah.
To do it. Like I couldn't help you because I never done it, and you had the right coach beside you.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that was one of those days where, it's one of those times where you really had to have somebody. It really was helpful to have somebody like Daryl who's experienced in it.
Yeah.
So
we were all cheering, even though we said we were joking and messing around. You got to mess it up, but we were all hoping it was all going to come out good for you.
Well, I know. Damn, you know what? I gotta remember what bridge goes where. Son of a gun.
What, you did a market?
Yeah, I think I did. Let me check the back of my bridge. Thought I did.
If I do waterfall on my main set, I'm going to show you guys how I do the waterfalls. It was actually a tip that I got from the Morara magazine, where you actually use the Celastic. You know the Celastic we used to seal up car part, gearboxes and that on trucks and cars.
Yeah.
Use this Celastic. It worked out pretty good, actually.
Was that?
It actually turned out pretty good, the waterfall. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they're not in there perfect, but they're good enough for right now, just to get a view of that.
My trains are going to look good running across that bridge.
Your trains, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's mine. Everybody's.
Yeah.
We don't have a track up there, but kind of give it a.
You get that little bit of reflection underneath it too. It's just right. It's just right, mate. Yeah. That's spot on. I'd leave it alone. Because you get that little bit of reflection off the water on the bottom. It's like that. It's like that morning. It's like that early morning calmness shot.
Oh, yeah.
Or calmation.
Just stand by. Let me do something here. Just because we're doing this, let me try something else here.
Hey, Paul.
You know, as much room as I have, I feel like I'm always tripping over stuff down here. This is time to clean up.
You need a bigger basement.
Yeah. Maybe eventually. Well, I'm going to get the room here behind me where the furnace and that's at. I'm going to move all my workbench stuff in there. It's not going to do good for, won't do much for like videoing in there because with the furnace and stuff, it's going to be too loud. All right. Just one reason I like these lights I put in. It says red, green, blue lights or whatever.
Yeah.
Color changing. Let's play around here a little bit. See if we can really. Oh shit! I got them on that flash thing. How do I get that to stop? Stop it. There's like a yellow, got an orange flare to it.
Yeah.
I kind of like this nighttime. Just want to. Just goofing around, guys. Green flare.
That's what I got to be doing on mine too. I got all that stuff.
Just going down through the colors. That's white. Purple. That's a nice nighttime color there.
That's a good nice tongue shot there. Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. They got these different colors and brighten them up, darken them.
Yeah, you can get that. You can even get that sunrise, sunset.
That's what I'm trying to find. It's like an orange red. There's an orange. Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to chat though, unfortunately. And that's basically just That's just the basic
brightness.
light, like the lights.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I got all the other room lights off right now, except for that. Except for those strip lights. So if you look around the room, like there's no other lights on. I mean, you got a light from outside, but just I gotta tuck those up better and stuff too. But I mean, just I don't know, I like it. Sit down here and kind of.
Mike's asking you, what did you do to seal the picture? You used a little plastic sheet, didn't you? To
What
seal
did
the
I do
picture.
Oh yeah, there's a little. It's hard to see. It's plexiglass. I cut a little strip of plexiglass. Probably didn't have to cut it as high as I did, but how's that view? Okay. It was from an old poster I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just cut a little strip off of it. I have a piece here. You know, and then I what I did is I put it up against the backdrop. And I siliconed it at the bottom. Then I kind of, when I put it in there while it was drying, I kept a couple things up against it so it stayed tight to the backdrop. When that was dry, that's when I did my Sculptamold. So it's sealed underneath the Sculptamold as well, in case anything leaked through. Want to make sure it didn't wick up that backdrop, you know.
Morning, Jim.
So,
and once you finish weathering that bridge, that's going to look good. You going to do
yeah,
any more weathering to the bridge?
I haven't. I did a little bit that one night. I haven't gotten back to it. I need to work on that. I might work on that some more today. Because I really want to get this bridge back. I want to run trains. I'm so tired of not running trains. I mean, I can play around in my yards and stuff and run them around up until this point, but it's not the same. I really enjoy rail fanning my layout, if you will. As much as I like operations, I'd like to be able to sit here, work on something, veg out. I got a TV down there. I just sit here sometimes, watch rail fan videos or watch you guys on YouTube on the TV and just let the trains run around, you know. Bernard.
Okay, Nissa, you have a good day, darling.
Yeah, have a good day. Cherry on top, yeah. So.
You know, one of the projects I want to work on, I can still do single-handed, is
Thank you, Paul. Thanks.
start painting up my breakdown crane and the sport cars to go with it.
Kurt, that's a GP35. I typed it in. I don't know if you saw it. Picture. Jim Tedesco, good morning. Oh, yeah, guys. Jim's on tonight, too. He's got the 6 o'clock show, the short line Thursday he does. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, real quick question because you weren't here at the time. I know you did all those reviews on the cameras. I can't remember if this is one that you recommended, the View Vision mini camera. I had it in my Amazon wish list, and for Father's Day, my wife picked me up some stuff for videoing, and then she got this. So I don't know if you could tell. It's pretty small. It says it's tiny thumb size 1080p camera recorder, micro SD, MJPEG, USB, time date stamp. I don't know. I can't remember. I know he says it's a good camera. Okay, cool. I know you did a bunch of videos on it. I've been meaning to go back so I can see what to buy, and then she got that for Father's Day. And all right, Daryl, cool, man. Cool suggestion putting the bridges in. Great. Now I got to take them back out. I don't want to take them back out, but it's just easier to weather them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least you got the space where you can do it. See, with me now, my next step is to do the next level above where I am now, do as much as I can on the scenery on that. And then I've got to rearrange the room so I can get the main 4x8 in here.
Yeah.
Because once I get the 4x8 in here, I'm going to be a lot more cramped for space. I've got to change my work table around. I've got to put a smaller table in. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to fit in the room. So I've got to do whatever I can now and then rearrange everything, basically.
Right. I'm looking here. I'm taking a couple of pictures of this since I have it up. And you sure can see that reflection. It looks pretty damn cool.
Mm.
The locomotive coming down, or in the water. Damn. I gotta tell you.
Arthur wants to know, what did you do to stick the backdrop on the, what did you use to stick up the backdrop on the masonite?
This backdrop is from Trackside Scenery. This was a self-stick backdrop. So, yeah, this is the water pour. These bridges, I just set in temporarily just to get a kind of a look. Daryl suggested I do that, and I'm glad I did. Still got to finish weathering those and everything, and then I'll get those put into place permanently. But yeah, this is from Tuesday night. It's nice and hard.
That's good.
Dried up perfectly.
Hey Heath. Well, you got good weather at the moment for it to dry up too.
Yeah, that's true. See, did you get the backdrop? See, I went arriving. Train junkies was going to pull down clip to the masonite hardboard first. Yeah, you can do that. Get it where you want it. Get it set up. You can use like a spray glue to put it up. Actually, go on Trackside Scenery. If I can find it, I'll put it up. I know Train Junkies may have his own thing too, but if you go on, stand by, let me see if I can get it up there. I'll give you a link. Track. That's who I bought mine from.
I think he also does his own paper that's got a self-adhesive backing on it.
That's who you mean, Train Junkies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I found this backdrop from Trackside Scenery and really liked it. So that's why I went with it. But Trackside Scenery also has, or Train Junkies has a lot of nice backdrops too. And he'll actually do like a vinyl. He has one that's like vinyl too, which is nice because you could kind of have some working. You could pull it back off a little bit, while you're working with it without worrying about ripping it or anything. This is just a heavy paper, photo paper. I'm trying to find the right thing. Let me just give you the link to this. The only reason I'm doing this, and like I said, Train Junkies may also have it. Paste. See if that link works. He has videos. He has a video or two on there. A lot of good videos. I mean, a lot of the scenery I've done, I've learned from him as well. Like how I make these vines and stuff. I learned that from Train Junkie. So he has a lot of good videos on there, just in general scenery stuff too. He's a model railroader too. But there's a couple videos on how to put up the backdrops. A lot of good tips with how to glue them up and that kind of thing. So, and Train Junkies may have that on his site too. So, just to say.
See, on the backdrop that I've got here on the side, on the left-hand side of me, I used this double-sided tape on that one. But the picture that's at Randall's Run, that's a self-adhesive one.
What am I looking at? Did they hear you talking?
Yeah, see the
We got 3 cameras going.
yeah.
Hey, fancy pants over
That
there.
this picture here where I'm pointing at, that's got double tape on it. Okay.
Oh, you could do that too, authorize. Get a
Yeah.
good double-sided tape. You
Yeah.
know, one that's going to hold it. But just know it's gonna tear. It could tear if you try to pull it back up. So you want to try to get it up there as straight and everything as you can, and where you want it. Maybe put it up dry first.
Yeah.
Dry fitted, if you will. Definitely, I recommend having another set of hands to help you out.
Mm.
It's easier if you're not working around scenery or anything, but I had a little bit of that to work around, not too much. With the way, if you can see above here, you can see the climb up there. So with the way that climb is right there, and it goes on an angle all the way down. So I had to deal with that. So you probably couldn't see any of that because I got it on.
You want to change the camera
angle.
so people can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's better.
So you can see the climb up there, and it goes on an angle all the way down and around. Last time I tested it, it worked. I haven't actually run any trains to the second level yet, but so I had to work around that a little bit, and I had to work around the shelf brackets and stuff. So, anyways, you want to dry fit it, in my opinion, put it up with those little clips that you're talking about, and then you can mark anywhere you do need to cut it. And and again, I know like the train freak, he uses tracks. The train junkie, I know for a fact he uses them. Good stuff. I looked at it too. You see, you'll go through his stuff as well. Yeah, and check out his. He does some very good videos. He's really good moderator and very detailed. I think he's like 0 in 30 or something. He's a little bit larger scale, but you can like scenery techniques. You can shrink it down or make it bigger, whatever scale you use. But yeah, I'm no expert at backdrops. I do have a ton more to buy. I can't paint. I can't paint backdrops. I've tried it. I've just come to the realization in my mind it's going to be expensive. I'm going to buy so many feet at a time and then save up for the next bit, as I go. This backdrop is part of a series, and he has these series of backdrops. So I could get this backdrop and it'll like be able to match up with the next set, Like the next set I'm going to get is basically the same backdrop, but it has like cornfields in it, but they're in the fall, so the cornfields are dead. There's all like the brown stalks before they cut them down, and that's going to run back there behind the Crooked River Co-op. There's buildings that he could put in there, and the buildings are customizable as far as you could put whatever name on the building, as long as it'll fit. Like I'm going to probably at some point use that wherever I do my Crooked River Pipe Company. So I'll do the CR&E Pipe Company, and I'll have that on the backdrop probably too. So just things like that. And again, Train Junkies has a lot of good stuff too. So
He has got a lot of good pictures.
Mike's going back to work. Okay, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Let's see. This stuff. I've made a few videos on like the how-to stuff. Some of it is from what I've learned from him too. So feel free to check that out as well. I'm looking at using bulletin board paper for clouds and then using background flats for those. You could do that. There's a bulletin board paper that has clouds in it. Somebody just did that. Is it Jimmy from the DIY and Digital? He just used that. I had that up on the old layout in the one section there for a while. It was too repetitive for me. I don't know how else to word that. They were too uniform, like the way they were stacked on each other.
Mm.
At least the one I bought. There might be different ones. The one I got my hands on, I wasn't crazy about. But it is a nice alternative. It's a nice, like, cheaper way to go and have that background stuff. And now I didn't put anything up in front of it. Like if you're gonna do background flats and stuff, especially if they're a little taller and that, I mean, you won't recognize that as much or notice that as much that it does that. Um, but when Jimmy put his up, I thought it looked really good. Now, when I had mine, like I said, it might have been a different bulletin board paper. I wasn't crazy about it on my layout at that time. Now, like I said, he did it, and I thought it looked good. So it's a nice alternative, and I would definitely give it a try. And if it don't work out, it's not that expensive for that stuff. So if it works, it works. If it don't, okay, you know. Yeah, man.
See with me?
You know, off the rails. I can't remember what your name is. Anybody know his name?
You see, with my next level, that's going to be more of a city scene, and I just got to try to work out the best way to get a good backdrop for a city scene that's going to suit the terrain that I'm going to have on it. And that's the hardest one, trying to find the right backdrop to blend in what you intend to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
lot of guys that do. A lot of guys that offer some nice background buildings that are flats, where you can even buy just the picture. Or you can even print them out yourself. Like if you could find a building or something that doesn't have, you could figure out how to scale it. You could print it on your own printer on printer paper or whatever, and then put it on that little that foam core board that you buy. At the dollar store, I think you get a big sheet of that stuff for like $1. I don't know now, $1.50, $1.25.
I got a friend of mine up at Brisbane that's got one of those continuous printers similar to what Joe has at Trackside Scenery, but I've been asking her to do stuff for me, but and she also does decals, the proper things and sheeted decals, but you just can't get her to do anything. It just keeps on arming, There is a few scenes around here where I might photo off and see if Joe over there could actually do it for me, stitch it in together and make one up and just get him to make it out of the vinyl paper.
Yeah, you can even go up, like, for anybody that doesn't have a friend that can do that. You could go to, Decals. I can't get used to it. And what's his name says that all the time, too. He's the Canadian guy. He's super great with weathering and stuff. Shoot, what's his name? Oh, goddamn.
Decals.
No, but I say decals, but you guys all seem to say decals. But whatever.
Yeah, we call them
potato, right? We all know what the heck it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So you used to be able to go to like a Kinko's or like one of those copy places, and as long as it was your own picture, I don't know if they would do something that was like, copyrighted or whatever. They probably wouldn't do, but you could get things printed out pretty large there too. Like I think Trackside Scenery was able to go up to, I want to say 96 inches. What's that? Is that 8 feet? 8 feet. The math sucks, but you know what I mean. I think it was 96 inches. He was able to 94 or 96 inches was the longest he could print in one print. Yeah. But like I said, these scenes continue. So like you could take, as long as it's in the same series, you could match up any one in that series with the previous one. It would match up perfect. And it would never look like it's really repeating itself because it's far enough down the line that you would have to really find it to see that it's repeated, And you can take a hillside and match it up with just some trees. And he has like, you can actually take different series and match them together. He has like, what do you call it? Pieces that would, transition pieces.
Yeah, transition pieces, yeah.
No, Kurt, not James. Damn, what's his name?
Yeah, James is gone for a while, Kurt. While you're attending to the boss at home, he had to go and do some work. So anything that I had problems with tracks I've seen to do my lower level is his are too high for what I have intentions on for my height that I've got on my lower level, right? And when we go to trim it, you trim too much. You trim too much off the top, or you trim too much off the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, the backdrop that I used on Randall's Run, which is right behind me, that extension piece that I'd done, that one actually is a backdrop from a guy that does it here in Australia. And it's just the right, I mean, I had to cut off, I think it was about 1.5 or 2 inches off the top.
Yeah.
Which was only just the sky. And the color of the sky blended in pretty good with the high blue that I've got on my layout now. So the color that I've got on my backdrop, temporary backdrop, matched in pretty well.
Oh, cool.
I used, I think it was a Dulux color called High Blue. And I matched it to our basic on a nice clear day that we had here. I just matched the colors out of that. The bottom half of it is got what they call harbor blue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bernard, I haven't glued these in. I didn't know where I wanted them, so they're just sitting on top. So I might just leave them like that for now till I decide what I want to do with them.
One good thing about that, you can have them in there, and if you don't feel like having them, you can actually change them and change your scene.
Yeah,
it's better off the way you've done it. You can change your scene.
I don't think you can really tell too much if they're not sitting down. They're flat bottom canoes, so they're flat. They sit flat.
Well, that's it.
So, like I said, if I ever do decide to permanently put them in, I can always do a little bit of Mod Podge underneath to kind of hold them, and then do some ripples around it, just little ripples. I'm going to leave this as is for now. I think you guys kind of convinced me of doing that. The thing of it is, I'm kind of afraid to mess it up. I think is what sometimes I'm going to watch some videos on guys that have done it and just see if I feel confident on it or not. Maybe I'll make a little, like just a little bit on a piece of glass or something.
Yeah. Well, when you take a picture, take a photo of yourself and look back at it, you'll see what we're talking about. You got that mirrored image coming from the backdrop onto your water.
Yeah, I could see it. Now that you pointed it out, I could see it.
Yeah.
I think it is.
So you don't have to do
nothing.
The
water looks with the backdrop, the way it's shining off of it. It almost gives the water. It makes it look like the water has depth too. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Ricky.
Thanks, buddy. Jim, I think
so. Ricky, you don't have to do nothing to it.
Nah.
I know the temptation's there, but
well, for now it's frozen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Right now, I kind of like that mirror look. For right now, today, I like it. We'll see down the road. You know what I mean?
You're going to have another river scene or some more water scene somewhere else?
Probably. I won't have it as dramatic as this. Like this. Yeah. This bench work, if you see, I actually dropped the bench work to fit the scene. You know what I mean? You can see where I drop it. It drops down. I didn't do that anywhere else. Not that I probably couldn't, but I didn't. And I think that's the best way to do it if you don't want to have that like valley. Because especially on the first level, I didn't want to do too much elevation because of the decks are kind of like 15, they might be 16 inches. I think they're 15 from tabletop to the bottom of the upper deck. So I didn't want to get too carried away. Because if you look, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to do a little spin here. Might not be able to see the co-op over there. It's kind of far away. But the elevator is not too far from the top. In fact, I've knocked some of the little pieces off, taking it in and out of there because I think I lifted it up. I got to pretty much slide it straight out. It fits, but it just fits.
Well, that's the same as what I'm going to have here. I'm only going to have probably about 4 inches on above my coal tower to play with. Above my coal tower. That's how much room I'm going to have between it and the next level.
Look up hydrology and read up on pillows and eddies for a water flow. Okay. Yeah, I just have to research, Nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Good for boating. Yeah, it's good for boating. It really is. But I mean, like I said, originally I did plan on doing some ripples along the rock. Where the water would have slow, some kind, especially if it was moving. You can't go from being rushing like it is in the back, in my opinion, to nothing that quick. I don't think you're going to still have some kind of flow.
Oh yeah, you do.
But I think for now, I might be leaving it.
Yeah. Because you do get spots like that, but you done your elevation, everything else pretty good, and there's a lot of work involved in it too.
Yeah. Hey Martin. Oh, excuse me. Hey Martin. Kurt. This black fascia you see is temporary. So I screwed that up against the front of the table. On the back side, where it meets the table, I put a heavy bead of silicone caulk, clear silicone, and then you pour on that. Now, question: does anybody know how I get this off of there now? I mean, I have to unscrew it, but how do I get it to not get ruined on the edge when I pull this off? I'm thinking I have to run some kind of a razor blade or something along it.
I think so. I mean, I think Daryl might be the ideal bloke to talk about that. Actually,
what about John? What did you do, John? Did you use something of the same?
Yeah, I don't know if John did or not.
I don't
Hammer
know.
chisel.
He's
No,
done,
that's a bit too brutal, mate. This is not the Steelworks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. I don't know how you might be able to do it. Maybe you can use. Actually, what's that razor wire that the windscreeners use now?
Who uses it?
It was like a razor wire. To replace windshields on the cars. Right, on a lot of new cars, they use this bit of wire that's like a razor wire to cut the rubber.
Damn,
You
John,
might
that's
be
a good
able to
idea. I
use
wish I would
that
have
and
done
just
that.
cut where the resin actually meet.
I didn't think to do that, John. I wish I would have. Well, I guess I have to just try it and see what happens. I'm going to have a face.
It should be all.
But I was going to, kind of follow the contour of the mountain, of the terrain, and then come level with the bench top or level with the river top. So.
Jim reckons he should be able to peel it away.
Yeah, I don't have stones enough to do it now. I think I'm going to let it set. Maybe tomorrow I'll mess with it. It's nice and hard, but I think we can give it another day just to make sure it's hard all the way through. It should be, but
yeah. That's what you did. You did on Tuesday.
Tuesday again. It was pretty dry last night. I didn't go too crazy testing, although I don't want to get fingerprints in it. It felt like it was pretty dry by like late
Yeah.
afternoon. So I figured, well, I'll wait and see then before I. Obviously, it's nice and hard. It don't feel tacky or anything. I don't feel sticky or anything on my fingers after touching it. So it's dry. I'm just gonna give it another day to make sure it's fully dry, no issues. And I'll take that
Leave for
off
the
there.
weekend. Leave for the weekend because the surface probably dry. The bottom could be soft still, as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how this stuff works, how it dries.
Mm,
I know it's all like a chemical reaction with the hardener and everything.
mm. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping in, Dave. I appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. This is one of those shows where, we talk about anything. Today it just happens to be this because you guys watch me, a lot of you guys watch me do this live on Tuesday night for On Track Tuesday. And I figured you guys would be interested to see how it turned out. So it's kind of what we're talking about there. But we talk about anything really, try to keep it train related. That's my preference there. We all have our opinions on other things going on in the world. Um,
So that's a
Speaking of
dual track.
which, what's that?
So that's a dual track bridge, isn't it? You got 2-track bridge, dual track
It's dual
on the
track. Yeah,
bridge.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a, yeah, it's dual track. Obviously, I don't have every paint and epoxy I have used gets left for 7 days off the rail side. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not in a rush. I'll leave it. In the meantime, I can get these bridges weathered up and get them put back in place and tracks put in, and you know, it's all good. Good, good. I like it. Very happy with it so far.
That's his specialized paint scheme, Kurt.
Yeah, it's my
That's his flip
Crooked
colours.
River and Eastern paint scheme.
That actually looks pretty smart, but you know what it also really looks like? The EMD's demo colour scheme.
Yeah. In fact, hang on a minute. That one I was working on this one for my buddy. I think he needs a new front truck though. I'm not sure. Stand by. If I can reach it. It'd be great. Not knocking shit over. It is kind of where I sort of got the idea. That's an SD45, but it kind of has
Yeah.
the same look to it. It's kind of the same thought process behind it. Although I have a little bit wider striping, and then the whole nose is white.
The SD60's demo colours are slightly different. There's a bit more, there's a lot more white on the SD60 demos.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is my VP7 that I did. It's a slightly different shade of blue. I couldn't find that shade of blue, and I actually like the shade that I painted the new one in.
You got the old and the new.
And then this is the older logo, based off of the C&O Progress logo.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then a friend of my wife's is like a design artist or whatever for what do you call graphic design, and she created that logo that I use all the time now. So like, I'll still keep this one around. It's got the older one. I got a couple of hoppers that have the old logo on it.
Well, you can still run them together.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I mean, you have a look at CS6. They still run the old colour scheme with the new colour scheme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish they'd stick with that YN2. I like that one better.
Yeah, me too.
I like the new one too, but I like the boxcar logo, the YN3B, I think is what it is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I was lucky enough in 2018, 2019, 2018, I think it was. When I was at home at Greer in Spartanburg, was down between Greer and Duncan. and they had two AC 4400s, one in the
Okay, Officer,
YM3
it's
and
good to
one in
talk to
the
you.
new color scheme. Two the same engines and two different color schemes.
Hey, Randall, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun. I mean, a lot of guys do their own little schemes, and it's something I wanted to do from the beginning. And I kind of did. Like that first locomotive I showed you was one of the originals. I don't know if you guys know Joe Geraci. Joe helped me with the first several runs of decals that I did. But then he was basically said, "Here, man, no sense in me printing these out for you." He goes, "I don't have a problem doing it," but so he gave me the PDF or whatever that he used to. I gave him the logos, and he did all like the sheets of decals for me. They had like the numbering and all that kind of stuff, the data sheets and stuff that you put on the side of the cars, and so he gave me the file or whatever. So I just printed out a bunch. I don't know what the hell I did with them. And I just go on like, what do you call it? Word, one of those programs, and I've done like the decals that I did for the Crooked River. The ones on the building, my wife did on her Cricut. Is that what they call that machine? That's like a vinyl kind of thing. But
Yeah.
the ones I did on those,
Yeah.
the grain trailers and stuff. I got a little carried away. I couldn't decide what I wanted, so I did a lot. I did a little bit of everything. But these were undecorated. I painted those up, and this is my decal. This is oh shit! Don't drop. This one here, the black one. That's the one that's actually on the elevator. It's got the wheat on it, and then and that's based off of something else too. I just changed the lettering out on it, and then the flag and stuff. And I think one of my other ones actually has a flag on it.
A few guys have actually imported some of those trailers over here. No, that looks smart.
Yeah. When I get, I don't want to say bored, but when I get to where I don't know what I want to do next, or I get a writer's block, if you will, I go to the workbench and I just play around with stuff and go from there. You know what I mean? Because this scene, somebody said he can't believe how quickly I did it. This has been going on for a long time. This scene, like all winter, from start to finish. When I first started doing like the terrain and everything, and then the backdrop.
Well, what else were you going to do? You're going to go out and play in the snow?
No.
Were you going to go and play in the snow?
Really. No, not really. But I'm just saying it wasn't quick in my mind. It wasn't quick. To me, quick, I'd have had it done in a couple of weeks, and I've done that before. And then, you get in a roll and you don't want to stop. I mean, there's been times I don't go to bed. I'll stay up late most of the night because I'm in the middle of doing something and the ideas are flowing kind of thing. You know what I mean? So you just kind of keep rolling with it. See, you said we had the CSX1 through train and Thayer subdivision the other day. Didn't actually see the train, just heard them over a scanner. Oh, that's cool. But you see so much cool stuff. I do not have a U50B or C model.
That's what you get. U50B or C. Actually, no, Jason's got the U50.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
I don't know. I'm not even sure what that is. What is that?
That's what Union Pacific and Southern Pacific used to have.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have any of that. I have a couple of Jibo Union Pacific.
Yeah, they're pretty big engines, Kurt.
I run modern, so I run a lot of the tier 4s, tier 3s, yes, 44s. Mostly CSX. I do have run through is what I call it. CN, UP, BNSF. just one or two of those locomotives. Then I have some older stuff. I have like an SD40-2 chassis system. I got some older chassis stuff. I have a U30, U30B maybe U30. I don't know. I'm not good with the locomotives, guys. Um, and that is a chassis system. I have a C&O like that. I got a couple of GP38s, I think they are C&O. Because I started out wanting to do more of the transition era, early diesel. Then I moved into I've always kind of liked chassis systems. I kind of moved into there. But hey, burn full of trains. Good morning. And Rare Monsters, those ones saw them in a video on Sherman
See,
Hill.
most of what I've got is
Sherman Hill.
more.
Is that the one up in Wyoming? Is that the one where they run the 4014 all the time? Sherman Hill. Gary. Good morning, Gary. Yeah, burn full of trains. My cat's over here meowing. He wants to come in here and bother me. Listen, I'm going to mute this. I'm going to put Artie on for now. I have to use the restroom, man. If you guys want to keep going, I could go for a little bit longer. If not, I've been on almost 2 hours. So if you guys are into it, I'll hang on. Hey, Finn, how are you?
It's up to what the other guys want to do.
Yeah. Well, let me do
Go and
that.
have a run and then come back.
Yeah, let me do that, and I will come back, and we can figure it out. I'm not particular.
Well, everyone can watch my trains running around in automation.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Come up with some other ideas if you want. I'll be right back.
I still got to play around with the schedules that haven't run a bit more. I've tweaked it a little bit. I've got to adjust the waiting times and that on them. It's been a bit of a learning curve with it. Just trying to get everything fine-tuned properly. But it's getting there. I'll be able to play around with it a bit more now while I'm recovering. Still got to play around with the braking of the train, having it stop at certain points. And you're packing, John. Where you packing? Where you going to? Yeah, so on the right is green. That's the Randall's Run. That's as far as it goes for the time being. Eventually, I'm going to be expanding from there onto a bigger board. And the two shots that you see on the left is what I call the east and west view of the maintenance facility. That's pretty close to being done. I don't have to touch anything. It just goes by itself. Since I can't have trains go in a continuous circle like Dave and some other guys. I can actually have the trains run by themselves, and yeah. Dave had to go and shake hands with the unemployed. So yeah, it's worked out pretty well. It's been a good learning curve. Most of my trains eventually are going to be able to run automatically when I'm finished with it. I've got to work out how to tee the signals in. I've got them changing the signaling system. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Alco Century 855. So where you go? Oh, okay, John. That sounds good. Yeah, I won't be going very far. Oh, you have got intentions on going to Newcastle the following weekend, weather permitting and health permitting, to go for a ride on the 59 class and the R class at double heading. And my big thing at the moment is just trying to get around, and being one-handed, it's not that easy. This week's project, what I'm going to try to do is let me try to change my screen. Is going to paint up my crane and the maintenance equipment, but I haven't decided what colours to do it in yet. Yeah, I haven't decided. Oh, it doesn't want to play. Okay. It doesn't want to play. No, it doesn't want to play. Let's do this differently. What I intend to do. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Sorry, guys. Something doesn't want to play up.
All right, guys, I'm back. Where'd to go? Guys, kick him out. Hello, Daryl. You're back. Bring him back to the chat. Let's see. I'm trying to go back there and see where I left off. Where'd you
Sorry
go, man?
about that. Oh, the ABS and StreamYard, we're clashing with each other. I was just going to show the guys that this one here is the one on my current paint project at the moment. I'm going to be doing this one up. Still haven't decided how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it in the Chesney colours, or will I do it in a CSX orange with a black roof over it? Because that's going to be part of the it's going to be going with the maintenance of away vehicles, or like with the breakdown crane. So yeah, I haven't decided how I'm going to paint that one up yet, which is what I will probably do this week.
Well, they look cool either way. Kind of like the idea of the black roof.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might I think I might use orange on it. That way, I won't mix it up with the other passenger cars that I've got. Oh, here he is. He's back again. Here's James. Hey, James, your mate Kurt's been looking for you.
Hi, James.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was thinking of. The DD40, isn't that the one with the 4 sets of trucks on it? What's that one? Is that the DD40?
DD40s, yeah, they're the 4-axle trucks, yeah. Yeah, they're those
Now,
big,
what's the
they're
big
the big
locomotive?
ones.
It has 2 sets of trucks on the front and on the back, so it has like, you know what I mean? 4 sets of trucks on it.
That was
losing
year
my mind
50s.
before. Is that
That
the
was year
U50s?
50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dave's Trains. I'm the same way, buddy. I just, I don't care what scale people are. I mean, if it's good, it's good, man. I get a lot of I follow a lot of O scalers. I follow a lot of N scalers. I'm HO scale. The guys that I started out following were HO scale, but hey, man, good is good. It don't matter what scale, And I sit there like with these chats. I mean, we talk about any scale. Just because a O scale or a HO scale,
Everybody's got their own
there's
preference and reasons.
and there's enough people in the chats that can answer questions just as in generals, or they're N scale or O scale that might be able to answer questions, and it's just fun. Look at the damn hiccups. Sorry, guys. Um, and Daryl and I briefly were touching on this the other night afterwards. Like I said, we talked for a good close to 2 hours or more after the stream the other night, and we were just talking about how in so many ways we've had this conversation too, I believe, online here or on live chat. In ways, the hobby is kind of dying. If you think of it along the lines of like brick and mortar stores, with all the online distributors and sellers, you can get it down there anything you want. The downside is you can't physically touch it in the store and feel it and look at it in person. It makes it a little harder that way. But look at what we're doing here. Very few of us have actually met face to face, and we're all connected through this YouTube experience and Facebook and whatever else. And in my opinion, that's growing the hobby because my experience, especially when I was younger, trying to learn about model railroading and that, and some of you might have had better experiences than I did. Maybe because I was a little more shy when I was a kid. I would go into the hobby shop and I would be looking at something. I would ask questions about, hey, I'm trying to get into this. How does this work? How do I start this? How do you wire this up? Whatever the question. Maybe it came across as a dumb kid question. They would either ignore my questions or explain it, but not. They could explain it in an experienced person's terminology, where somebody new coming in, I didn't understand half of what they were saying, and I'd be too embarrassed to ask more questions. So some of that's on me too, probably. Yeah, Daryl. Are we still talking about trains, Daryl? But with this stuff, you can go on YouTube, say, and you could find a video on speed matching, for instance, and you could find a video from somebody who's 10 years old, 12 years old, to somebody who's 80 years old, and they'll both give you the way to do it. It might even be the same way, but somebody who's 10 years old, and this is me speaking, I might understand, and I did a lot of times understand that person that was younger for some reason, because it was very, I don't want to say childlike, but not in big fancy terms compared to somebody who's super experienced and way older that's using all the fancy terminology. And when you're coming in, you don't understand half of that stuff. I'm trying to learn DCC. I don't know all the wording, I'm just trying to get the trains running, So, I mean, I don't know if any of that makes any sense to anybody, but there's so many different ways to learn on here and so many ways to connect with people on here that, you can ask a question in somebody's comment section. If they're a decent YouTuber, they'll get back to you. If they give a crap about what they're doing, they'll get back to you and say, hey, maybe I don't have the right answer for you, but check this channel out. And this guy does a real nice job of explaining, things like
Yeah.
that. So I almost find it to be more inviting myself because you can find such a variety of things to learn and different ways to learn the same thing. But
Yes, you're right there, Bernard. I mean, it's our model railroad family, yeah, and we have got to have a good little group here, or followers and whatnot, that supporting one another, regardless of our ability and expertise. I mean, I don't come across. I'm no expert in the hobby. Um, I have
oh,
experience
me
in the
either.
hobby, but don't you tell me to go to bed, Kurt. You're the one that's got to go cuddle up to your wife. I don't have to worry about going cuddling up and sucking up to the wife. Okay? Go and look after your wife. Otherwise, no pocket money for you this week. um, sorry, I had to let him. I had to let him know whose boss is. Who's the boss at his house, and that's not him. That's his wife. I'm no expert, but if there's something I've got an experience with, um, I'll share it. If I don't know something, I'll ask, no matter how dumb the
Mm-hmm.
question is. And
That's what
if
Joe said.
anyone's got a question they want to ask, no matter how stupid it might sound to you, just ask it. I mean, there's no okay. We might sometimes take a Mickey out here, but in all
Mm-hmm.
honesty, we all here to help each other out. You know,
Well, this way too. I might be thinking of a question, but don't feel like asking it because I feel kind of silly. But then you might ask it, and I'm like, oh, thank God somebody asked that question because I wanted to know. And I felt like, oh, shoot, you know, how many times that happened? You feel too embarrassed to ask something, but somebody else in the chat will ask it and get the answer you're looking for. So,
well, the way I look at a lot of things here is like, um, especially with an Aussie that goes traveling overseas, we use a terminology called a dumb Aussie.
mm-hmm.
Right, we'll go out and do the dumb Aussie thing, and um, we'll go, well, we're only dumb Aussies. We'll just ask a stupid question, And sometimes it might sound stupid, but in our minds, but in sometimes it might that stupid question might be a serious question. Now you know why I'm single? Yes, I can play with my trains. That's why I'm single, John. I don't have to answer to anybody except for my bank account when I overspend on my models.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I had to hold back. That's the hardest thing. Had to hold back on buying stuff. Because even when you get to, well, that's right, John. Yeah, the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Um, and you look at some of the stuff that we buy nowadays, it's not cheap. If we stuff it up, it's going to be expensive to replace it. So if we're not sure, we turn around and ask.
Yeah. That's going to be a nice size space there, James.
Yeah.
21 by 12.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kyle, how are you, buddy? Haven't seen you on for a while.
Hey, Kyle.
Hope you're doing well. He's been a busy boy lately. Haven't seen him much on.
Yeah.
He
It's
must have a
summertime
wife
up
and a
here, so a lot
mistress.
of guys have slowed down on the modeling. Oh, I have.
Well, weather's improved and more people out and about too.
There's more to do outside now, not only fun things, but things around the house, yard work, things you got to take care of.
Well, Dave being SF, I'm no expert on DCC either. I've got my understanding and knowledge on my basic electrics, and yeah, I can do simplified wiring, a simple like what Darrell has on his layout, straightforward and simple. But I just want to take it up one level. Yes, I can do my layout with the computer automation, but I can still operate my layout manually with my DCC system. And it won't take it much for me to convert it over to DC either if I already wanted to. But I don't think I'll go back to DC again.
Oh, I would never. I mean,
Um,
there's another thing. Like I was talking with Daryl, for instance. He is DCC, of course, but he is basically mostly manual. Like his switches are manual. He keeps it simple. He doesn't want all that extra stuff. He wants it just to be hands on, easy peasy, less stuff to go wrong, less stuff to break. He told me the other night, he goes, I can walk into the training room at any time, turn the power on, power up the locomotive, and go. I'm never
yeah,
worried about this system shutting down or that thing, shorting out or any of that stuff. Something to be said for that. So I kind of got carried away there for a minute because I was thinking I wanted all these things, signaling and blot detection, and I do. I'll get to it eventually. But it slowed my building down because I was trying to incorporate it as I went, at least have the basics of it there so I can tie into it later, which is a smart way to do it, I think, if you're going to go that route.
mm,
But I was spending money on stuff like that I wasn't really ready for yet, and time involved with it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, I got lots of bits and pieces too, especially when I see it on special. I just go and grab it.
mhm.
Um, but the way I've done it, I can, as I said, I can operate my layout pretty much in two ways. I can operate it with using computer, or I can run it manually. I've got
Yeah,
both options. Like um, earlier in the year, around about January, February, I didn't have a computer. I didn't have the laptop, so I had to resort to using my using manual controls.
yeah,
I didn't have to depend on my computer system, and I'm glad I did it. And I did it like that on purpose because a computer can always fail. The computer can always crash.
yeah. And Joe was pointing out too. He's another one. He's DCC. He likes DCC, but all manual control switches and all that stuff. Nothing fancy, no blocks, no crazy stuff like that, which is great. All right, John, you take care, man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the tips, support.
Thanks, John. Yeah. So
Um,
the way I'm considering about doing my signaling at the moment, without worrying about using JMRI program, like signals that I've got now in place, they'll only work with JMRI. They won't work with my automation system. Um, and I've been shopping around just to have them working automatically. So
yeah.
what I'm doing now is I'm investing into the Atlas signaling system, and it can
Oh
work
yeah, I
off the
heard that's a good
existing.
one.
Yeah, it's working off the existing. It's working off the existing wiring that I have now. I don't have to do any real modifications, right?
Good,
And it
good.
will, and I can still work the signaling the signals will still work basically
So, James.
semi-automatically, so to speak.
Yeah, same to you, buddy. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July, everybody. That's what James is wishing everybody. Happy 4th of July. Happy Canada Day. I don't know, you got something over there too, Artie? Like a 4th of July?
No, we don't have that here. We have
No.
what we call Australia Day, which is in January, last week of January. 26th of January is our public holiday.
Right.
That's basically our what we call it. Yeah, Australia. That's when we became a country.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you guys did or not. Yeah, Bernard, kind of the same thing here. I knew I wanted to go DCC. Well, take that back. Originally, I was like, I was like afraid. I hate to use the word afraid, scared, whatever. Worried I wouldn't be able to understand DCC. So I was going to go back to DC when I did the other layout. I think 2017 is when I got back in with the other layout. So I started researching DCC, and I'm like, well, this ain't so bad. That's why I ended up going with NCE system, the power cab, because you can expand on it, and you can get as pretty much as involved and technical as you want. Oh, wow. Damn, Daryl, you don't have to do that. I appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. Ah, friendship. I have to make friendship bracelets now. I'm just teasing.
Friendship bracelets or the friendship rings. Ooh.
Oh, I don't know about the rings, man. That's a little weird.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, but
thank you so much.
They do some weird stuff in California. You know that. Dave.
He seems a little more straight laced than that. I don't know if he's in on. Hey, you know what? And if he is, that's okay by me too. I'm not here to judge, man. You do you, I'll do me. You live your life, I'll live mine.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
No, I didn't say you were. I didn't mean it that way. Remembrance Day for Newfoundland. Newfoundland, World War One. Okay, yeah. Remembrance Day here. I mean, we have Memorial Day for the fallen. Remembrance Day. We got November 11th. What is November 11th? That was the end of. That was the 11th day. The 11th hour.
11th day of the 11th month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ceasefire.
We all celebrate that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a public holiday for it, but yeah, a lot of us, especially the ones that've been in military and in force, in a force, we all stop for that part of the day.
Plumber, yeah, DC and DCC.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea because I didn't have any DC locomotives really left. I think 2. Most of my stuff when I was I don't know, late teens, early 20s, I got rid of most of my stuff that I had. I had a couple boxes with some buildings and stuff like that I kept. Didn't really have much for trains, a few cars. So I didn't worry too much about keeping both. But there's a lot of guys that have been in it for years and years and years and have a lot of DC equipment. And some of it is really hard to switch over to DCC. It can be more difficult. It gets expensive, especially if you want to go. That's a joke, damn it. That's what I was trying to think. It's called Veterans Day. November 11th.
Yeah.
And then I think is it June 14th is Flag Day, I think, here. Obviously, you got, Memorial Day is the last.
No, you just. Okay. Well, you guys you call it Veterans Day. We call it we call it Remembrance Day on the 11th of November.
Yeah. We have Memorial Day, which is for the fallen. Then you have 4th of July celebrating the
yeah, which was the other week, yeah.
And then, let's see what else here, Bernard. I use double switches. Oh, we go back and forth between DC and DCC. I forgot where I was going with that. Like on my workbench, I have a program track that has DC on it as well. Because that locomotive up there I just showed you, that Staccato um, unit, it was like new old stock. Got it off of a friend. He never really ran them. I mean, all the handrails and stuff are still in the packages, and nothing was used. Um, he took them out and ran them for me so I could see that they worked. I put them on my programming track to make sure they worked. I tore them all down, re-greased everything, oiled everything, so really quieted them up, and they run great. And so I've learned a lot in the short amount of time that I've been back in. It's been going on like 5 years now. I've learned quite a bit from most of you guys and watching on YouTube videos and things like that. I told a story once before. I had a couple of Athearn locomotives, brand new, a couple $100 a piece, two and a quarter, something like that. ECC sound, Athearn Genesis. Both of them were like, gave me trouble from the get-go. They were real choppy when they ran. They would cut out on me. One of them wouldn't run at all. Long story short, they're brand new, under warranty, sent them back to Athearn. Literally, not kidding, 4 months it took me to get those same things back. Ended up being both of them one had a set of truck wires, or one truck wire that was completely off, not getting power at all, and the other one had one that was not a good connection. I told myself then and there, there's no way I'm going to lose 4 months of playing with my toys because I can't fix something like that.
Yeah.
Is so easy to fix. It's so simple to fix. Now, for those of you new, if you're new getting in, learn how to do shit like that. Learn how to solder. Soldering is important. You don't have to be the best solderer unless you're going to be soldering the boards and stuff like that. You solder to your rails, the outside of your rails or underneath your rails. Some guys are good enough to do the inside. I am not good enough to do the inside rails. Daryl, I believe, did that video about a week or two back about soldering on a curve. And he's very impressive with his soldering capabilities. But learn how to do that stuff. Practice on old rail. Scrap pieces of section of rail, stuff like that. I like the fine tip. The more of the pencil tip because you can be a little more precise with it. But anyways, I don't know how I got off on that rant. But somebody had up there the model of a 90s era. I'm a little bit newer than that. I kind of the last 5-10 years or so. I like the modern equipment for the most part. But I'm not real 100% prototypical. I'm kind of like a, what do they call it, proto-lanced, for instance, I have my own made-up railroad I'm using, but I have a couple F units. I use Randall for my, they're Baltimore, Ohio F units. They're Bachmann units. I'm going to plug this in out of there. I'll use that for my sorry, this computer says the battery's going on. I don't know why it's plugged in when it's not charging. Oh, damn, I'm gonna have to get a new computer. But I'll use that for my what do you call it, train? Excursion train. There we go. Plug it come out a little bit of the socket. I got it on an extension cord, which is where I have it. I do want to get a steam locomotive, just for the excursion.
You want to put yourself on screen so we can see what you're doing?
Me? I could put us both up.
Yeah.
There. I'm still looking at the river. I'm not doing
okay. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
No,
I thought you were doing.
I'm okay, man. Unless you guys want to see my ugly mug, I'll put myself back on.
Yeah, I just switched it around and scheduled a little bit of my stuff. Trying to get them running a bit more frequent.
The plumber, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah, the plumber, he's in the same league as Anthony Dodge with the European and 3-rail stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, it's kind of cool. I've never really gotten into it much. Hi, Gary. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Gary. How are you, mate? We're I know the one of the clubs I was a member of in Sydney, one of the oldest clubs in this country. They just gone into converted the club layout to DCC, but they had to. I have a catastrophe. Hang on a minute. I have an accident.
Hold on, I got the wrong one.
I better stop everything. Oh, I've got a pile up. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I've got a nice little.
You get the camera on, that's what. Got to run 1 or 2 modern day trains, maybe. Yeah. You see, I'm just the opposite, Kyle. I have modern day mostly, but I will run some chassis stuff and some older CSX predecessor road stuff. You know, C&O, B&O. I don't have any Western Maryland anymore. Kind of sad about that. Hey, Dave, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate the support. And anytime, come on back. I do this every Thursday morning. I start 8:30 ish, 8:30 ish Eastern time. But yeah, definitely. Anytime you feel like stopping in, feel free. Yeah, I get that, Randall. This layout here, I'm pretty good. I have the room to stay at 28, I think, is my tightest mainline curve. So I could run basically anything. 28, you can run, I think, basically anything. It may not look as great as a 30 or 32, you know, but I might have a 26 somewhere on one of the sidings going into the yard. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think I do. I think actually, like on a peninsula, it's like a 30 and a 32. So Artie's over there destroying life. He's just destroying everything. No coal trains were harmed during the making of this video.
No. Just a couple of work crew got run over and a couple of cattle.
Well, you know, the cattle are dying over here like crazy. I don't know what's going on with those cattle. Hey, Randall, that Automax, is that the one that's got the is that the articulated car? I would think that would run on a tighter curve. Could be wrong. But see, you got the club layout too, so you could basically run basically anything you want. Like if you wanted something bad enough, you could run an auto rack train or, you know, whatever, you know, long 89-footer flat cars and stuff like that. You just would have to run it on a club layout, you know. So that's a nice option to have. So you can pretty much, you know, run basically whatever. All right, Dave, thanks for stopping in. Always good to see you and always good to chat with you.
I just found those Athen
I think we all
Automax cars just a little bit too high.
What'd you say?
The Automax cars, I just find them just a tad too high for my liking.
Well, I mean, they're tall cars because they're auto racks, you know.
Yeah.
But had opportunity. I could have got a couple of those at a really good price. I can't say I don't run auto racks. I have about 20 of them maybe. Anything from the old Walters kits to scale trains. I got
Yeah.
a couple of those, and I got a couple of the what's the other one I just got? Not just got, but not. I don't have any of the ones I don't have are the Intermountain ones. Those are really cool, and that was kind of one of the things when scale trains came out with their rivet counter ones. I was kind of almost disappointed that they didn't have the see-through grills, or you know what I mean, the grating. But for the price of these things, it was already expensive enough.
I do. I wouldn't mind getting at least another half a
Oh, no,
dozen. I wouldn't mind getting at least another half a dozen of the auto racks. Particularly since I model the area, the equipment that I normally have is the equipment that's around Spartanburg, South Carolina area, and that auto racks are pretty common down there as well, especially with the BMW plant being there.
Yeah,
And the
it
good thing
happens.
with that is, with me needing to get some Norfolk Southern equipment because they run down there as well. I don't have to buy extra cars for it. Just switch the motive power in front of them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Bernard
Because
is volunteering at the Northern Nevada Steam Program Rebuilding Repairs. May have to postpone his layout a little bit. Oh, well, that's kind of cool though, Bernard. It's kind of cool. And Randall Atlas, that was the other one I picked up over the last year. A couple of scale trains, a couple of Atlas. Somebody was having a good sale on them. I mean, scale train had a sale on their auto racks, the operator ones, anyways, and even that was expensive. But it was, But I got the Atlas ones, shipped and everything. It was like 55 or something with shipping. So I mean, they had them on a couple of different ones on sale. So some of these companies, they suck me in. Even when I'm not looking for something, you get a sale on it. You guys, you all know how that goes.
I've just been looking at.
That's how I feel about freaking scale trains. But Akron too, they got some good stuff coming out. I haven't seen the Jesse stuff they're coming out with. I don't know, I had to put a halt on my buying for right now. Just too much. I got to try to save up. I have a certain card that I'll use. That's a like same as cash type thing. Pay it off in a year. So I let it get to a certain amount, and then I got to stop and I got to pay it off. If I'm not paying it off as I go, I don't want to get it to be like. First of all, I want to make sure I pay it off in that time at the most, so that it's that I don't get charged interest on it. But I got to reel myself back in every now and again. In fact, I got a pre-order now from Scale Trains. It's about $300, and I'm thinking about letting it go. It's all those containers, which sucks because those are all modern containers, and I'll use them. But I gotta do something there.
Yeah, well, I've also had to. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that thing came out with, but I just haven't been able to do it. I mean, I did want to get some of the FP45s for the Amtrak, but I didn't get any of them. But there's so much stuff they got out, but I had to draw a line, and you got to draw a line sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just keep on buying and buying and buying. And like with me, if I kept buying the trains, I couldn't build the layout.
Right, and I kind of run into that too. I know there's some lumber I have to buy still for the second level, and I got a guy that Gary that EL. Oh man, he's Gary Lackawanna, the SD 35 or 45 guy. Gary's his name. but he's offered me up a couple of display cases.
Yeah.
So I gotta call him today, but I'm hoping to pick those up because I might put those on that wall that I was telling you where I want to build the wall. Let me turn this camera. I'll show you. I guess I got to put myself on camera so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, you see where the louver doors are. That's the doors going out up the stairs. This is the furnace room that I'm going to steal from my wife when we get her craft room moved. You see it's all sitting on a table there. It's got legs and everything. One of the few places that I actually have a table other than the peninsula. But right along here, I'm going to build a wall going up. Okay, so I have something to attach on this side, the second level, because I got some studs there. So I can put brackets there, and then I'll put brackets here. I was going to build this in about maybe 6 inches. And on the outside facing the stairs, as you come down, I was going to have my display cases, just for knickknacks and things like that, because I had a whole bunch of stuff down here that I would display, like some stadiums and things like that, from those collector companies. But I'm thinking I might still build the wall, but on the back side of the 2x4, put those display cases, and on this side of the 2x4, I could use for my back, my brackets and everything I was going to do. So I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to take them up on that, offer them something for it, and go from there. I've always kind of wanted to have some display cases, and he's got a couple he wants to get rid of, and I don't know. Anyways, random thought, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. Somebody said something in the chat that made me think of that.
You see, I got some pre-ordered engines coming up now, and a couple of passenger car sets, electric passenger car sets coming, which will be part for the layout. But I mean, just the passenger car sets alone. What were they? The 7 car sets. It's $1,000. You get 3 mighty power in them. And then in the locomotives that I'm getting, they're nearly $400 each. And I've got 3 of them coming, and it's too much. I wouldn't mind getting to the Timonium, but I'm gonna have to go up to Sydney next week and try to sort out this immigration paperwork sorted out. If I can get that sorted out, then hopefully I can get over there. If I can't, then I'll be even my trip for next year is going to be all up in the air.
Yeah.
And I don't like being in this predicament. If Mum Olsen and Dad Olsen and the family over there at the US take a turn, I can't get there in a hurry.
No, you got to get that straightened out.
And that's the thing I don't like.
Because I'm saving on all my wiring issues till you come visit me. So you better get your stuff together.
Yeah.
The plumber 33.
Oh yeah. Well, next time. Next time I plan my trip, I will spend a week with you.
Yeah. That'd be good. That'd be fun. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Joe Rader. He was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still there. I think he might have went out again. He usually has a table or helps a friend with a table there at Timonium. I don't know if you know him or not. I think Ray Bell from the Beauville and Newtown was trying to get a group of guys together around that weekend to meet up at Timonium.
Yeah.
Kind of like a little small meet and greet. So you want to reach out to him next time you see him in the chat or whatever on his channel. If you haven't already, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to make that show. That's a wedding anniversary, so I'm not going to be coming down for that. I will be visiting Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt. I'll be visiting. I just don't know for how long. It'll be the weekend of September 23rd. It might be 4 days, it might be 2 days. Just depends on if I get approved for the days I requested off from work.
Well,
Did
I'm
you
not
plan
making.
on
I'm not.
going over to? Go ahead.
I'm not making any. I'm not making any commitment at this point because I've got to get that. I've got to get that sorted
Yeah.
first.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
you
before
have
I
to.
can make commitment. Because I don't like
But that's
making
when
promises
once
that I
you
can't
get that
keep.
sorted out, you get that sorted out, then the next time you can make the commitment and say, okay, at least you know you have your paperwork straight.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, all it was is just a simple error of the click of a mouse,
Hmm.
and I was doing something. So on my main computer the last few days, and you click on one thing, but something else comes up, and and you get errors all the time, and it would take them 15 minutes to fix it. You know, they don't have to wait 12 months to sit in front of the PC and say, oh, we could have fixed this in 5 minutes. But when you've got three,
Yeah.
four different departments that just don't want to do nothing. Now, as I said, I'm going to go up there next week. If they're not going to do something, then I'm going to get put it in the hands of the lawyers and have them pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, because nobody's doing their job. Nobody wants to take the responsibility. They're all passing the buck.
Yeah.
October is going to be basically when it's going to be basically my last opportunity because we do have a 2-week quiet period with the company that I work for now where we don't do nothing because
Right.
they're basically regrouping and reorganizing the priorities of the jobs that needs to be done before Christmas shutdown. You know,
Yeah.
so
You going back to work with them when you get all healed up or what?
I'm hoping to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to. So I'm planning on because I'm going to be on the verge of just coming out of recovery, and I just want to get away for at least 3 weeks. So I'm going to want to come over there for 3 weeks, for a break. Then when I come back, if I cannot get back to my normal job, then I'll be either doing runs to Perth from here, or I'll be working out on the wheat harvest, on the grain harvest, because we're going to have a huge harvest this season.
Yeah. Hey, Bernard, that is kind of
They've
crazy, man.
they're forecasting a bump, one of the biggest seasons that we've had in history because of all the
Wow.
rain and that we had.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, really. Hey, Joe. No, I was just saying that somebody mentioned timonium, and the plumber 33, I think, mentioned timonium, and I said you usually are at timonium, and I don't know if you have your own table or you help with the table or something there. And then I was also trying to tell him that like, there's supposed to be a small meet and greet there. Rainbow Bell's trying to get together, so if he wants to check with you guys, maybe to hook up with you if you're going to do that. Plumber, it was great talking to you. Like I said, the 23rd of September, I'm planning on being in Maryland. We're going to go see, plan is to head over to see John Arthur, me and Anthony's son, Georgia Sunbelt. He's in, I think, Richmond. I don't know where you are in relation to Richmond. But we're going to, Anthony says it's not that far from where he is. So if you're around, maybe we can all kind of hook up at that time too. I'm always up for meeting new people, man. So, but you take care, enjoy the pool. I'm sure your kids will, anyhow. Your kid will.
Yeah, plumber.
So, yeah, thanks for coming in. But
yeah, and I'm gonna
yeah,
have to.
I don't know why people think that that's a good idea, man. They just nothing's that. You're not in that big a hurry ever. You can't be to be jumping against it. So.
Something went wrong. Something drastically went wrong over there. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we've had railroad crossing accidents here too, and I remember we had a bad one down south where a truck hit a passenger train in the middle of the night. And that was one of those freak accidents.
Mm-hmm.
They try to blame the driver for that, the truck driver for that accident, but at the end of the day, it wasn't just the truck driver that was in fault. It was also the government. So
yeah. What, the gate's not working or something like that? Or?
Yeah, that's weren't working. And that crossing actually did have lights on it, and the lights didn't work. But they tried to actually put the blame on the and I'm not gonna speculate what was it. Well, we know the train hit the truck, but as I've been seeing and whatnot reports is the locals have been warning about that accident was going to happen. And one in Victoria Kurt, where Kenny's hit the V-liner. The driver that actually hit that train, I know the guy, and he's a pretty responsible driver. It wasn't the type of person take unnecessary risks. But in the US, so this is the difference with the trains in the US to the trains here the trains in the US to the trains here in Australia. You can actually hear the trains coming miles away to the railway crossing. Because you look at the sequence of your train whistles, right? You've actually got a sequence.
Yeah.
Right? Here in Australia, they just have to do a single toot of the horn.
Joe.
Right? And they just got to do a single toot of the horn, and that's it. And even then, you won't hear it.
Yeah.
But over there, I mean, you can hear the train coming at the railway crossing. So what went wrong?
I don't know, man. There's a truck on the crossing that wasn't supposed to be there. I know that much. I mean,
yeah.
So it's a sad, unfortunate thing. I mean, and it just, Hey, Bernard says sadly most of his railroad friends are thousands of miles away, some across the big pond. Yeah, there's a few guys around me, like Pappy's not too far from me, Troy Goglin. He lives down near Columbus, a couple hours. Gooseland is...
yeah, that's right.
Justin, he's about 30, 40 minutes. But most of the people that, other than those couple of guys, Martin Searsman, I think, is actually on the other side of Cleveland. I haven't met up with him yet, unfortunately. And then Wigwag's up here in Ohio somewhere, too, I believe. Actually, Anthony Dodge is up in Toledo. He's a couple hours. But a lot of the guys I do talk to, a lot of the guys on our streams and that we converse more often through the streams. They're not thousands of miles, but they're hundreds anyways, Tend to have a lot of guys in Maryland. Pennsylvania is big for model railroading. Ohio too, but Maryland and Pennsylvania, I feel like has a lot of guys. Virginia maybe too. Florida's big. And when we go to Florida, there's several guys down there. Jim Tedesco I met up with last time. Tom Strange and things. The one guy, Robert Sacco. We had a great time, and there's many other. Chesco, I haven't seen Chesco in Florida, but I met him in Steamtown. I met him up in Strasburg when we all went up there. So that's the fun thing. If you guys are ever able to make these meet and greets, whether it's something Sparky's doing, or whether anybody else, we can always arrange one too. It don't have to be through, even Sparky says it don't have to be through him. Just if we want to decide, hey, look, let's get together. Model railroad season usually kicks off in October, November. Hey, let's meet somewhere and kick it all off together. Like Timonium would be great if I can make it. That'd be a nice show, for everybody to meet. We could do something more centralized. That'd be great. So people west and east could kind of meet. And I'm talking the United States, anyways. Canadian, you guys are always welcome. Artie, I don't know. We haven't decided on you yet. We'll think about it if you're welcome or not. But
yeah, I love you too, Dave.
I know you do. No, but Southern California.
So in other words, yeah, you can get stuff too. Yeah.
With Daryl's in Southern California. I think Grandpa Rails. I met Grandpa Rails. He came up for the Steamtown show back in 19. So I got to meet him. It was nice. Got some guys in Arizona that, So the guys are around. You just got to, I guess, reach out. And because listen, if we go somewhere, like I think the next meet and greet's playing in Colorado or something, I think, possibly. My wife's never been west of the Mississippi. She's more than willing to go out there. So if I get a cool place like that to go to, California, Arizona, wherever, I could definitely talk her into it. Because if it's in Colorado, we're just going to do a week's vacation. We'll do the train thing, and then we're going to go do some other stuff on our own, So, I mean, she's very supportive of me and the hobby, thankfully. She don't want everything that we do to be about the hobby and about trains when we go on vacation and that. Like when we go down to Florida to see our friends, she's usually pretty cool with me taking, one of the days and hanging out with the guys down there I know in Florida. So, unless it's just like a quick couple of days, she gets a little more funny if it's a short trip than if it's a little bit longer. But she's always been pretty cool about it. And so anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll just get there when I get there and meet up with who I meet up with when I can, because I don't know if I still got the job in the old place and I can sort of work out a schedule when I can get over there to the US. If I don't, then everything is going to have to be sort of like.
How are you, Derek?
I've got to replan everything a lot again.
Yeah. Derek wants to know how you're feeling, man.
I'm getting better. Still early days. I had the bandages and that changed today, and everything's looking all right. So, but it's only been a week. Give it another. I've got to go and see the specialist on the 19th, and let's see how things go then. I'm still having a lot of problems with my right hand, which we'll get a looked at in 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks' time.
Isn't that the same shoulder you just had worked on, right?
The right hand side, yeah. Well, I had the right hand done just before Christmas, but there's a bit of problems with the right hand, and that's thanks to the insurance companies messing around. So it looks like I might have some permanent damage in my right hand. And if that's the case, I'm going to be suing the insurance company, which is the government insurance company, for all it's worth.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Eggers is going to be going back to Strasburg on September 10th. He's giving a talk at the Pennsylvania Museum there. And I'll put a video up of that museum. It's pretty cool.
I do want to get down there and have a look. I do want to go down to Strasbourg and have a look.
It's nice. It's a nice area.
Yeah.
Nice little quaint town.
It's a nice area.
Beautiful country there. It's all mostly Amish country. A lot of Amish country. But it's real pretty. It's beautiful. we had a great time, and the weather was great. Just everything kind of came together real nice there, and between the people that showed up, the weather, the people that lived there, the caboose motel was really fun. It was such a different experience. Derek, yeah, that's the river, man. That's what.
Daryl, the reason why a lot of the kangaroos here have got more muscles than humans is because they've been weightlifting on backpackers and unwanted tourists. That's why they've got a lot of muscle on
them. How are those kangaroos? I'm being serious. How are those? Are they mean? Are they docile? How are they? How would you relate them? You know what I mean?
Stay away from the male kangaroos. Stay away from the male kangaroos when it's mating season.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too close to them.
Yeah,
usually they're okay. They're usually okay. You stay away from them. They usually
all right. You got to quit trying to mate them.
Not me, mate. No way. Kurt maybe, but not me. Kurt's close to the bush than what I am. Yeah, the big red ones, they're massive. They're massive. They're the ones that you don't want to mess around with. They do have a bit of an attitude with them as well at times.
Traction through. Buildings was traction every time as a kid. We ride down taxi. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the other problem that the railroads over there don't take into consideration. Yet the trains are so long and they block the crossings. And
I think it's getting even worse now.
Pardon?
Randall just said that he had a coal train come through that had 1,100 axles or some shit on it.
Yeah, they're too long.
They're long, man. In fact, I think
that's too long.
Train Freak did a video the other day where the train was actually the DPU in the middle was actually part of a whole separate train. Like I think they joined two types of trains together. One was like a bunch of auto racks, one was a mixed freight, something like that. But it had basically the DPU was the beginning of the next train, and they were just running it all together across country or whatever, and they would split it off wherever. But I mean, these trains are getting so long. I think that might be some of the reason why you're having more and more accidents.
Bernard, the kangaroo tastes like beef, very lean beef. Yeah, they just get. See, here in Australia, our longest freight trains are up northwestern Australia at the iron ore mines. That's where our longest trains are. Our second longest is the ones that go from Adelaide to Perth, because there's no railroad crossings out there.
Mm-hmm. But that makes sense, though. Like they gotta be aware. I can see putting those big long trains together when you're crossing the plains, and when you're getting into these larger towns, you need to be able to have a way to split those trains up if you're going to be doing any kind of stopping and stuff, because you can't block people from emergency services and that. It's dangerous.
Yeah,
could be deadly.
Yes, you see on my videos, the latest videos that I'll put up from that long weekend when I went train spotting, that's the average length of our trains down here.
Yeah.
One, because of the bridges and whatnot and the length of their sidings, but they're a good length train. It's not going to hold the railroad crossings up for too long. Particularly, I mean, we don't have that many anymore, but we still got a few railroad crossings. If someone's trying to get to the emergency, if there's a life and death situation, um, the first responder's got to be able to get there. You know,
Yeah.
and that's where the US. I know they're trying to get the freight across, but split them up and have them two trains, create more employment, use 2, 3, 4 trains to go across. You're creating employment, and that's what we need at the moment. We need more people to work. We got train strikes here at the moment with the passenger train strikes. One is because of pay conditions. Yes, they need more money. The other one is safety, and the other one is job security. They're putting all
Mike
this new
did talk about
railway
those
system up.
kangaroos.
Yeah, they're putting all these new train system, manless trains up in Sydney. We're just going to do away for the train drivers.
Yeah. I think
You know,
it's been a big
we
conversation
need
here
jobs.
because
We don't need people on the unemployment list.
I thought I heard something about them wanting to do away with the conductor, even only have like one person cabs. You know what I mean? Like only one person instead of having two. That's got to be some kind of safety issue there, I would think. What if something happens to that
Well,
engineer has a heart attack or something like that? You got nobody in the cab to stop it.
exactly. Now, in Victoria, down south in Melbourne, all you have is a train driver, or we call them train drivers here. We don't call them engineers. We call them train drivers. And you don't have a guard on board the train. But they've already had that many accidents down there, and they also had a lot of fatalities there on platforms.
Hmm.
You know, here at the moment, the biggest issue that they're striking about here is that they got these new imported trains. When the guard or the conductor closes the automatic doors, he wants to be able to look outside his length of his train before he closes the door and says, yes, the train can go. It can go. But the government wants them to run with, say, well, you got cameras there, use the cameras. But no, they want to be able to check to make sure the train is clear with the door open.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I'm backing I'm backing the drivers why they are striking here, and why the rail staff are
Yeah.
striking.
Yeah. That was
Um,
technology is a great thing. Don't get me wrong, in a lot of ways, but
oh
they're
yeah,
always looking to cut humans out of the equation. They're trying. I know there's human error. Don't get me wrong, but it's like my God, man, you're really gonna save that much money? You always to save a buck, you're gonna put people in danger and things like that. I don't know. These companies, and it's not just knocking on the railroads. Everybody does. All the companies do it. They all want to do more
yeah.
with less. It's just the way it goes. And you know,
But see, our,
some
our
of it's out of
passenger trains are
necessity.
run by the government. They're not run. They're not run as they run as a private enterprise, but they're government owned.
Amtrak's government owned, isn't it, guys? That's a
I
you
think
know,
so.
is
I
that
think
run
government
or
owns a portion of it.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
But see, the other thing is Bernard. Yeah, but you see, the other problem you guys got over in the US with your railroad crossing is, um, your railroad crossings are too dangerous. Um,
Yeah.
if you have a look, if you, there is no way we would be able to get away with doing that, build those type of railroad crossings on our tracks here in Australia. You know, you got too much of a high peak on them. That's not a
Oh
crossing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we know. Well, no, Kurt, that's a. I mean, there's too much of a too high of a peak, and I just looked at the ones even down around South Carolina, with the big good one down in Duncan. There's two railroad crossings within about 70 feet from each other. One's got a big peak on it. There's no way you can just get a car over it. No way you can get a truck on it. You got to
Yeah.
go up to the next crossing 60 feet, they've got a triangle intersection going through the middle of the railroad track going through the middle of a triangle intersection. Yeah, and dumb
Sometimes
driving.
that,
Yes,
yeah.
there is that, Daryl. But you have a look. If I show you our crossings, the standards that we have at our railroad crossing compared to what you got over there, they're two different standards. And sorry, I'm not gonna say that we're better, but I mean our standard is a lot safer. There's a lot less chances of a truck getting stuck on a railroad crossing. Um,
Yeah, it's sometimes they put these crossings in areas where I don't know why they put them where they put them.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of places they started to remove the other crossings out and putting flyovers. Down in Victoria, in Melbourne, they've actually taken a lot of railroad crossings out and realigned. Either have the road go over the railway line or the railway line going over the road. Yeah, you're going to get that, Bernard, but that's not what I'm referring to. That you're always going to get the ones that are going to try to outrun the train. That's their own stupidity. But what I'm talking about, you're having railroad crossings over there that are like this instead of being flat. This is what I'm trying to get. You get a path over it, and it's like driving over a giant hump. A lot of your crossings are like got a peak on them like this,
Yeah.
right? When you look at our railroad crossings, they are like this. That's a big difference. You're always going to get people that you're always going to get some idiot and some fools that are going to run a train.
Well,
Well,
and you
yeah,
can't control stupidity.
no, you can't control, but if you 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 got to try to eliminate what's there is a word for it that they used. You just
Words are
got
hard,
to
Artie. Words are
respect
hard.
her. Yeah, the level. Yeah, that's right. Level crossings. Yeah, because they are level. Um, yeah, but that's not what I'm referring to. Daryl. I'm not referring to the people that trying to duck under and get through the crossings. When you look, what I'm trying to get at is just the way designs they are on the crossing itself. Yes, you have over height of trucks. Yeah, we have them here too. Um, yeah, you got a bigger population over there, so yeah, you do get more hits than what we do over here. But we've got them over here too. They'll go and hit bridges. Um, yeah, you see now Bernard's getting what I'm trying to get at. There's a lot of high centered issues. It's the height in the peak of the track. That's where a lot of it is. If you can alleviate that, because you have a look at majority of the railroad train video accidents that you see, is the trucks are actually bellied out on the railroad crossings.
Yeah, I've actually
And
seen that in person.
yeah, and I've seen it happen in the steelworks here, and they alleviated that problem. It wasn't a road. No, it wasn't a railroad crossing. It was actually through a truck wash. The truck's bellied out. Um, and sometimes that might be the only road and access point for them to get through. you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
sometimes there's,
so,
oh,
yeah,
too
I'm
soon,
not
guy.
talking.
Too soon, man.
Yeah, but you can't fix stupid people. You can fix stupid people. You just dig them a 6 foot hole
Yeah.
and cover over the top of it once they're in there. Yeah, that's all you can do.
Just gets to a point where
Well,
you
it's
gotta
in the
let
tunnels,
the
yeah, only
herd
because
take.
we've got these curry munching Indians out here. Yeah, we see we got truck drivers here that come from India, and
Oh, we got them
our
too.
tunnel heights are 4.4, 4.5 meters tall, and they're trying to get a 4.6 meter high truck through it. It just won't fit. Now they don't know how to uncouple, they don't know how to unhook, they don't know how to reverse. Yeah, well, that's a different subject.
No, we get them over here too. Hey,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I've seen some idiots. I mean, you hear the train blowing for a good half a mile, quarter of a mile, well, half a mile, quarter of a mile to a railway crossing. The lights are down. Yes, I've seen them. I've seen them in Spartanburg. They're all trying to get over the other side. Yeah, he won't fit. Yeah, that's right, Daryl. Um, but yeah,
All right,
yeah.
man.
If we get some,
We'll see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
jeez.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I better make this phone call to Atlanta.
Daryl, how tall are your trucks? Are they just, shorter trucks, or you got they're not tractor trailer height, are
Okay, our standard height. I'm gonna have to go by meters. Our standard height is 4.3 meters high, which is pretty much the same height as what your Pantex are. The only thing that
they?
goes
John
higher
Young?
than that is the stock crates, the cattle trucks, and there are a couple other trucks, but stock crates and trucks that carry hay, they can go to 4.6. No, you didn't stop me. I just want to. You didn't stop me, Daryl. I just want to get off the subject. Lengthwise, standard semi trailer, 48. Our standard length is 52 feet long for a standard semi trailer, and B double is approximately 70 feet. 13 foot high. Yeah, we're around about the same height. I think the height standards in the US and Australia, your maximum height will be the same for your normal standard semi trailer. The only thing that goes higher than that is car carriers that can go to 4.6, cattle trucks, and feed trucks that carry hay. They can go up to 4.6. We can go higher, but we need permits, and that's only daytime running, so that you can't make money on that. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, mate. Dave?
Yep. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on here, mate.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
to
you
make
better
this
get to
phone
bed. Jesus, it's got to be. What time is it for you over there?
1:45,
13
which
hours.
is lunchtime over there, so it's going to make a good time for me to make the phone call to the US.
Yeah, it's 11:42. I'm actually gonna get off. Speaking of lunch, get got on
Yeah.
here. But good time with you guys, man. It's like I said, I keep saying it, I love doing this stream. It's always fun. I appreciate everybody stopping in. We don't have to talk about anything specific. We just talk, and it's just a lot of time, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm usually up at this time of the night anyway, or should I say? Usually I'll be pulling up by about now and getting ready to go to bed anyway at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm usually working these hours. And what's his name? Kurt, he's got to get to bed because he's got to get up and make breakfast for his wife and whatnot before she starts work. You know, even though he's a kept house husband, he's still got to look after the wife so he can get some pocket money.
Yeah, you gotta have the pocket money, man. Got
Oh yeah, he's got to have his pocket money. Yeah.
Thanks, Derek. Well, I hope it was a great show too, and that was a great shoe, Joe. But I got good shoes, huh? Just teasing.
Could have been worse. Could have had Anthony Dodge on.
All right, Bernard. Good night. Good day. We'll see you later. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Again, I do appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys tune in on your breaks at work and stuff, and you know, it's still just not overwhelming, but it just still is humbling. I like to use the word humbling because it makes me feel very blessed to have you guys want to come in and hang out with me and just shoot the breeze. And you know, maybe I'll see you on there later tonight. Check out Jim Tedesco at 6 p.m. I know the Canadians usually go on at 8 p.m. tonight. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. You got you gonna do a show already Saturday or no?
Yeah, I'm doing a show this Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing my show on Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be doing the one following week because I'm going to be up at Newcastle, going on that train ride.
Okay.
So.
Thanks, Bernard. I appreciate the compliments. And he says, heal up, Artie. All right.
Yeah, I will. I'll go and get some drugs into me soon.
Yeah.
All right. I'm out of here, mate. All right, guys.
Okay. Take
Good
care.
night, all. Have a good day, all.
All right. Take care. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'm going to get out of here, too. We're over 3 hours again. It don't feel like it to me. It just kind of flies by. Derek, I did start to read back on the chat. Yeah, again, humbling. Just the support, the well wishes, the fingers crossed, everybody holding their breath for me while I was doing the pour. It's all good stuff. It's just a great community. I mean, we always say it. There's so many good people out here. So many people willing to, even when you don't want it, they'll give you your opinion, and it's not always a bad thing. So, but with that being said, man, thanks again, and we will talk to everybody later. Hey, Mystic, hi and bye. Thanks for popping in. Quick little picture there of the river, and the other 2 in the morning there. Well, thank you for hanging in there with me. So, okay, guys, have a great day. Maybe I'll see you tonight on Jim Tedesco's show at 6. And talk to you guys later. So bye for now. Talk to you soon.